And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. I am your host, Saint, and with me, as always,
Is the one and only David Estacado. We're here live. Special guest starting off tonight. I'm hyped for this show, man. We have a
dude.
special guest.
I
We
don't think
have.
I don't think people are ready for the special guest we have.
I don't think
I'm
they
ready
are.
for the special
It's
guest
not
we have.
Lorenzo, by the
No,
way.
it's not
People are.
Lorenzo.
It's not Lorenzo. Lorenzo's not. Well, he's a special, but he's not the guest that we're
Yes,
talking about.
this is accurate. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to introduce to you WCW legend. WCW legend.
Oh,
Sign guy, Lodi in the house. How you doing, sir?
Hey guys, I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing
fantastic.
fantastic. How are you?
If I was doing any better, I'd be twins.
I love that one. I love that, dude. Man, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a bit. You've been keeping busy.
Yes, sir. Between the wrestling school and wrestling every weekend, my life is as full as I need it to be. We're all good.
Fantastic. So you have a wrestling school that's in Matthews, North Carolina, correct?
Yes, sir. It is.
All right. And man, I know some of the talent that's come through them doors.
Yeah, that's one thing. Since we opened up in 2018, roughly 2019, I've had so many great kids come through, great attitudes, great work ethic. But thankfully, with all my friends and the wrestling community, I've had lots of people stop by, so the kids get to see this superstar, that superstar every once in a while, and that really helps them feel like they're going somewhere with that kind of help and that kind of advice. So yeah, I've been really blessed with that whole deal, man.
Right.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Some of your most notable, that come out of there is going to be you've had Stuart Snodgrass, you've had Christopher Prince, you've had Keith Mack. I've seen the Wonderful Woo training
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Uh, I'm just naming a couple of randoms off the top of my head that I've seen everywhere.
The cool thing about K-Mac is, he came in right after we opened up, and I owe him so much. He comes in, he gets off work every night at a shoot job, and he gets in a little late, but he comes in and actually helps me train the younger kids. He's been great. And like guys like Stu, some of those guys just drop in, they're already trained. They just want to practice and get better. And so they come along. But I've had something you said with Woo Paul and Peter Bill, Austin. Yep. I brought those guys up from scratch, and I feel great about that. And then, one of my more prized pupils is getting a little bit of work at AEW again is Brock Anderson. So having Brock there has been really good.
That's awesome.
That's very good.
I remember actually a couple of your students were actually one of the first shows I actually worked a show actually two shows with you actually.
Yeah.
I refed one, which was hilarious. And another one, I actually wrestled against you in a tag team match, which was a lot of fun. And thank you for that.
Where was the tag match?
I believe it was. I don't remember. I know because I was playing a heel in a mask type of situation. Okay. So I remember is we talked a little bit about just kind of you made it so easy, which was great, and you had two students with you at the time.
Okay.
And they had their own match against each other. You were kind of like, all right, this is kind of like your test to see how you guys have gone in your training, and to see that and then kind of watch them put it together and help them. It was great. That's actually the match I refed. It was you two. It was you versus your two students, and it was like their Nargo tag match against you.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for saying that. Your line earlier when you said it was easy, or I made it easy.
You did.
That's my whole key now. Keep it easy and entertain some fans, and everybody goes home safe. So yeah, but thank you for saying that's a great compliment. So that means a lot.
It was just shut up, follow directions, and take a bump. That's pretty much what it was.
That sounds about like a Lodi match. That sounds very familiar.
What was hilarious was you versus Zicky Dice at Patriotic.
Yes.
I died laughing at that.
So obviously you were there for that.
I was the camera guy for that one.
Okay. I had such a blast that night. It was a lot of fun. I'd never met Zicky before. And I think our in-ring chemistry was fine, but we got along great just to talk and put things together. And good cat. I enjoyed working with him.
Right. Now, Bill Hazelwood, your announcer that night, he got with me after he talked with you guys. He goes, I know exactly what I told him. I'm not going to repeat it on air. I'm not going to repeat what he said on air. But when he told me what he said, I looked right at him. I'm like, only you could get away with walking up to Lodi and saying that. You realize this? He said, yeah, hell, Lodi loved it. He laughed his ass off at me. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you and I've worked together at XWW as well.
Right.
Man, you're everywhere.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. It seems like the signs. I start seeing the signs. They're like, oh, now he's there. Now he's there. You're a pretty busy guy. You got the school going on, and a lot of your great students, man.
Thank you.
I can see that you make sure everybody learns their fundamentals, learns pretty much what they're doing in there. So
one thing that's real important to me about the school is, and I remind the kids of this a lot, through my wrestling training and through my wrestling career, I've been blessed to spend time with some of the greatest minds in this business. You know, I worked alongside Dusty Rhodes when I was at WCW with the whole West Hollywood Blonde angle. He was our agent for almost all our vignettes and everything backstage. And then when WCW folded, I actually moved to Atlanta to work for Dusty. I ran his company, Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling. Wow. And the knowledge from him and spending time with Paige, and then how much time I spent with Raven, guys who just have a real great understanding of this business, have poured into me and given me their knowledge. And so I tell my kids, like, it's kind of my job to give it back to you if you're going to do this, so we keep this business going and do everything we can to leave it better than we found it.
I have said for years that one person I'd like to be, you know, everybody talks about taking the drives and booking the territories and having those conversations and listening to people. One person I've always wanted to listen to talk candidly, not just in the ring, is Raven.
Yeah.
I've always found him very interesting and very intriguing. And I mean, that's where I remember you from. I watched you as a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Sign Guy.
Thank you.
So I remember that. And I don't remember much else. You picked at me about not remembering you or not remembering all your details or something.
Right.
When we were at XWW. And I'm like, man, look, I'm not the only, or you guys aren't the only ones who had concussion bumps or concussions. and that's why I can't remember. So
there's lots of things I forgot too. I just like giving other people a hard time about it.
I'm good with it. I didn't care. It was all right. Hold on. I got picked at by a legend in wrestling. Oh, woe is me. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
Such a horrible. No, I love interacting with. Oh man, damn near everybody I've been around's been cool. So
yeah,
I've been blessed in that.
Yeah.
But you've got some serious matches coming up too.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you. I mean, we just talked, like, you're a seasoned legend. All right. You even said it yourself. You've been around some great talent, some greats themselves. They embody some knowledge to you. You have a big match coming up in about 2 weeks against Sean Cruz. I have to get some details on it. How do you feel going into that matchup?
I saw a vignette or a promo that he did, and it alluded to the fact that we had a match, I think, 10 years ago or something. And I was asking you where we wrestled and where you reffed our match, because I know I even responded. I'm like, okay, so if we had a match 10 years ago, next weekend's going to be the same outcome. But regardless, I don't remember. I don't remember where it was. I don't remember that match whatsoever. But, we still got to wrestle next Saturday night. So we got a chance to do it all over again.
All right. Well, speaking of Sean Cruz, he's actually just joined us.
All right.
I was trying to wait, but I guess we're just going to have it out here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce his opponent in about a week, Mr. Sean Cruz, the underdog, the unfiltered one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no.
I think his internet's broke.
No.
He's probably using AOL dial-up. Oh.
Hey, well, listen. Hey, look, I still have a functioning AOL email address. I thank you.
Guess what? So
do I. That AIM.
So do I.
No, not AIM. AOL.
AOL.com.
Yes, sir.
I give people that email address, and they look at me like I'm a dinosaur.
Same here. They can't figure out how I have it.
There you go.
Hold on.
You there, Cruz?
Dial-up's down again.
Is he using cell or hold on? Is he using hotel Wi-Fi? Because that would explain one thing.
I don't think so. No.
Mm.
There he is.
Hello.
There he
Hey.
is.
All right.
Hey.
He figured
What's
it out.
up, fella?
All
How you
right.
doing?
So, Mr. Cruz,
Yeah.
I met you a couple months back, and I've seen you work. Trying to remember, I think you held a victory over. Oh yeah, it was Sergeant Codename Flex at XWW. So that's where I've seen you. And you're getting ready to go up against a legend in professional wrestling, WCW great, Lodi.
Absolutely.
Now,
Yep. Good.
when you guys have done this apparently 10 years ago. Now, I guess my question to you is going to be this. How do you prepare going into a match with a seasoned veteran like Lodi?
Well, that's a good question, but see, to answer your question, I don't prepare. I stay prepared because then I don't have to get prepared, right? And it doesn't matter who the opponent is. If you're ready for anybody. And that's taking nothing away from Lodi. Absolutely not. He's done a lot in this business. And I respect everything he's done and everything he's done to pave the way for guys like me. But 10 years ago, when we stepped in the ring together, I was a different person. 10 years has passed, and a lot's happened in my personal life and professional life. So I'm ready. I'm ready for June 3rd more than I've ever been ready for any match ever.
Sounds like you have a point to prove.
Absolutely. I always have a point to prove. I have a chip on my shoulder bigger than anybody else's, and it grows every single time I step in that ring. Because for years I've been told, you're not big enough, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough, all these things. Everybody's told me you'll never make it, you're not tall enough. But here I am 22 years later, because I stepped into business in 2001, and I'm still doing it, and I'm doing it better than almost anybody else on the indies right now. Look at my track record. I've had almost 50 matches this year alone in 6 states for like 16 to 18 different promotions.
I see.
It's not a game to me. This is my lifestyle.
Yeah, I can. If I could point out, you're actually repping out School of Morton. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm the assistant head trainer at School of Morton now.
That's awesome. Recently, and if you don't want to touch on this, you tell me. You could just say move on. Okay, understand that. But as open and candid as you want to be, there's a person who apparently doesn't like you because you made his naughty list. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are we talking about a certain fella in South Carolina?
Yeah, we are. I think we're talking about the same piece of trash.
I heard about that. Well, see, he blocked me a while back. He actually, from what I understand, he blocked me because I was at RWC, Ringmoors, Carolina, and Fodder, who wrestles there at NWA and all that, and he's with Angelina Love now. They dropped by to check out our training session, give us some pointers and stuff. I thought it was really awesome. I thought the advice she gave was really spot on. I actually learned some stuff. So I put it on Facebook and I put her over. And he made some comment about it. And after that, I was blocked. So I don't know if they have heat. I don't know. I honestly, that stuff doesn't bother me. Like, I don't get involved in all that. I spent too many years getting into the he said, she said stuff of it. I try to just keep my nose clean. I mean, if you like me, cool. If you don't, cool. I'm not going to lose sleep over it either way. So I guess that's the best way I can address that situation. I've never personally had a problem with the guy. I mean, I know of his issues and stuff like that, but he's never personally done anything wrong to me. So,
okay, I from where I've seen you, how I've seen you present yourself and carry yourself in the ring, I was just trying to figure out where that came from. But it makes sense now because Angelina Love and Fodder and the NWA, it makes sense in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense now than it did. So because I'm like, the guy shows up in a suit on a show he's not booked at, introduces himself.
Can you do me a favor then? I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't even know what he said about me. But yeah, so a few months before that, he actually put me over as being like the most improved wrestler or whatever. So that's what's funny.
Yeah, it the guy's tripolar. Okay, let's just go with that. He's tripolar. Tripolar. Next level bipolar. I swear. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Like I said, dude, as far as I'm concerned, I have zero heat with anybody in this business. If anybody has heat with me, they are welcome to address it. They've got my phone number, my inbox, any of that. Like, I've spent way too much time in my early career with stupid heat for stupid reasons. I'm just trying to get out there and wrestle with the time I got left. I mean, hell, I'm almost 42 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm still trying to push to get where I can. Obviously, a contract is probably out of the realm of possibility right now. But, you know, I'm just going to keep going until I can't go no more.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. No. Nothing wrong with that at all.
You gotta respect the hustle. You gotta respect the fact that you're really pushing. You improved. I mean, you took a hiatus for a while. I didn't see you for a while.
Well, yeah, I had an injury. I tore my ACL meniscus, complete tear. Had to have surgery on it. I know Lodi knows a thing or two about knee injuries.
Yes, they hurt.
Did you have surgery on yours?
I did. I've only had meniscus tears. I've never had the ACL or MCL go bad. So I've been blessed and they've healed pretty fast, but knee pain, being on crutches, being a boot, being any of that stuff is a pain in the rear.
And then coming back from it and you're tentative because you're like that first leapfrog you do or something like that, come off the top rope for a crossbody, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually had an issue. We were doing the Dogwood Festival in Fayetteville, North Carolina a few weeks ago with Ring Wars Carolina. And I did a deal where I was attacking the guy before the match, and I jumped up, and he was really tall. When I jumped up and hit him, I landed wrong, and my knee just kind of buckled. And it was the one that I had surgically repaired. And that's the first time since I came back in over a year that it's done that. So it kind of scared me a little bit.
Oh,
but, you know,
understandable.
I braced it up, and I go out there and do what I do.
Yeah, definitely understandable.
Now, so Lodi,
yes,
I know we only have you for a very limited time, so I want to be sure that we get everything covered that we want to cover with you. As you said, you wrestled Mr. Cruz about 10 years ago or so, and you plan on keeping that same, you know, story's going to be the same as it was last time. Now,
no reason to write it. We'll go with the last one.
Right. So, how do you prepare? Other than what you already do, because you're in the training school several nights a week. Right. I know you live at the gym. You can say you have a house, but I don't believe it. Because
I'm just there a lot. I will agree with that. I start I'm there every day about 4:45 for my first client because again it's my personal training studio, and but yeah, I'm training. I would say for my age. The hardest I've trained in probably 10 to 15 years. I don't mean that out of the blue. The last probably 6 to 8 months, I picked up my training a little bit. But, you know, I train much differently than I did when I was younger. My intensity's down a little bit. And it's just, I'm not making excuses. I just got to the point where I know I don't want to push my body so hard at this point that I get hurt in the gym because every time I get in the ring, there's always an opportunity for that to come around. So I'm thinking about some longevity after wrestling. We don't discuss it a lot in interviews or with each other in the locker room, but I know I have more years behind me than I do in front of me. 28 years in, and so we got a couple more to go, and I want to leave on my terms and not because of an injury that caused it. And, in 2017, I had my third cervical discectomy, so I've had 3 neck surgeries. And, I'm fused from C2 to T2. So my style has changed a lot because of that. But again, I don't want to have another injury like that, and that's what ends my career. I want to walk out on my own. So training and wrestling are a little different than I used to.
Gotcha. Now, you say about training and, your first client at 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
When we were at the Welford Pavilion back in September, you and Peterbilt were there.
Yeah.
Man, y'all two were in the back working out before the match. You were working out physically before I'm like,
right.
Y'all are getting ready. Man. Is there a
get
neutral? Is there a neutral?
Yeah, you got to get the pump in, man. If you got weights or something backstage, you got to get the pump in.
Yeah, they showed up with their own bands and everything else. I'm
right. We all do that.
Yeah.
Well,
the ones who actually care about wrestling and actually looking
There's that. Good answer.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
answer.
I got the whole Pro Gym Extreme bag. It comes with the bag and the bands. Oh, it's terrible. I carry that thing everywhere I go,
Check
man.
that out.
You got to have those. It's funny. The kids give me a hard time a lot of times. I'm usually on the second half to the end of the show. And at this age, I'm still thankful for that. But I'll start warming up. And some of the kids like, Lodi, you don't go on for another hour and a half. Why are you stretching now? I'm like, if I don't do it now, I'll break something. So,
right.
Yeah, I warm up a lot longer than I used to for wrestling. I used to just walk in the ring and go do one. But these days, there's a lot of pre stuff just to make sure something doesn't tear.
Right.
True.
Man. It's excellent. And then, like you say, you guys are both, Sean, I know you plan on keep going. Lodi, you're talking like you're in the twilight of yours. And that's how you talk. That's how you talk. You do talk like you're in the twilight of your career. The reality is both of y'all at your ages are in better shape than I am at my age, and I'm not close to y'all's age. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your body, and you guys, diet hard and live in the gym and take care of yourselves. Promo wise, and the way you guys talk your talk, Unfiltered inspired, in my opinion, that the promo you did with Flex, the walking in the street with the kid, that set the tone for a lot of people. I'm going to tell you, whether or not people admit to it, everybody's watching. Everybody's watching, whether they're watching here now, whether they're going to watch it later, whether they're watching just your promo, and they're not going to say anything because they don't want to say anything because they don't want them, you to know they're watching you and they're going to mimic it.
Oh, of course.
I heard people that I never knew who the hell you were talking about. Did you see that promo? Yeah, I saw that promo. Yeah. I shared it.
Really?
So people are paying attention. When it comes to guys like Lodi, a lot of people pay attention to what Lodi does. They won't admit to it.
True.
But they pay attention. I had to learn it the hard way. I had to learn the hard way that people were paying attention to what I was doing. And that's bad when they're paying attention to a ring announcing asshole podcaster. That's horrible.
They've got some free time on their hands.
They do. That's exactly it. They have a lot of time on their hands. But watching them kind of geek out over you guys cutting promos, I'm like, aren't y'all supposed to be like the next gen? Aren't y'all supposed to be coming up with a new thing and they're smoking you?
No. So hold on. Just to touch on this, there's something that drives me absolutely insane. I've got so many guys like you talk about next gen, or even guys I've known for years, that will be in my inbox talking about, brother, you look great. The promo was great. Your matches are great. Will never put me over publicly on Facebook. Ever.
Oh, yeah.
Never share any of my stuff. Never comment on it. Never like it. But yeah, other people, they'll share and comment and like their stuff. And honestly, it used to bother me, dude. But I learned a long time ago, like, all you got in this world is you know, and the people that you wish would support you and have your back won't. So you should hang on and appreciate the people who actually do. 100%. That's what I've been doing in life now, and it's definitely served me well the last couple of years.
True.
I've been saying for a good while, one hand washes the other and supports a two-way street. And I mean, I've always liked supporting those who supported me, and I've even given the benefit of the doubt with people. That's where that's where you come up short at. But
I was about to say, like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt because that YouTube algorithm sucks half the time. So you have to constantly be interacting with somebody to constantly see their stuff come up. But at the same time, it's like you're on there. I know I post.
YouTube.
Just a little share. Just a little share would be great.
Yeah. But so Lodi, you said you're not changing your game plan on this matchup coming up.
Right.
Well, let me break you off here. There's one change. It's not going to be Lodi's rules, correct? It's going to be actual wrestling this time.
How about if we just wrestle? Is that cool with you? Are you cool?
That's cool with me. I was going to tell you too, if you'll maybe remember this or not, you might not. But our match 10 years ago involved a box of Fruity Pebbles and we used them like thumbtacks.
Oh yes, the Fruity Pebbles. You know,
Yeah,
your average person walking down the street has no idea the pain of landing
seriously.
on your back on Fruity Pebbles.
He's not kidding. I've literally told everybody that story from that day. Up until 2 weeks ago, I was in a Fans Bring the Weapons match in West Virginia. A guy named Aaron West hit me in the back with a ukulele. Worst pain I ever felt in my entire life. Hands down. Worse than a chair, worse than thumbtacks. I don't know what it was. He smoked me with that ukulele. It was
Yikes.
bad.
It's the splinters of wood. It's the
No,
splinters
it
of
wasn't
wood.
even that. It was just like it left a welt like the shape of a ukulele on my back for like 3 days. It was fantastic.
I saw one get blasted across a kid's head one time, and it landed on us in the front row.
Oh wow.
The ukulele chunks did, and I was just like, "That's why you put your hand up." And that's all I could think when I saw it happen. I saw the chair shot hit him before that, and he didn't put his hand up at all. And he took it from down here all the way up around and over, and that's how he got cracked on top of the head. I'm like, I thought you would learn the first time, put your hand up. But
no. It's become instinct at this point. If I see something, it's like I flinch, you know? It's like I have like the flashback when I was a kid and the chancla is coming at your head, you know? Your first instinct is just to put your hands up.
I don't know what a chancla is, so he's got me there.
A sandal.
Oh, a sandal. Okay.
I learned something.
Everybody's sitting down here like we have no idea what a chancla is.
What's going on with it?
Sandals.
Now we know sandals. Okay. Fly swatter, sandals, tennis shoe, belt, whatever.
Yeah, you know.
But no,
So-
I will. Let me say this though. So like 10 years ago when we wrestled last time, I was not in shape. I was not nowhere near the technical skills that I have now. So I'm honestly looking forward to stepping in the ring with Lodi and really putting on a show the way that I know we both can.
I think it's going to be a great match. I also think the card looks pretty good as well. I know
Absolutely.
the issue with the building, and the building got moved.
It did.
The Boys and Girls Club now, is that it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that was right, and so hopefully that won't affect the turnout or any of that kind of stuff. But I'm really looking forward to seeing. I saw Hoovy. Is he still coming?
Yeah.
Who's wrestling Sin Cara?
Sin Cara, yeah.
Yeah, I saw Hoovy at WrestleCade for the first time in probably 10 or 15 years, and caught up with him. But we worked together back in WCW. We also toured overseas with World Wrestling All Stars, and I'm a big fan of Hoovy's. I just like his work, and I like him as a person. So
No, he was a really chill guy, really cool guy.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully to get him on the show, we're trying to work that out. So we'll see.
awesome.
I just met him in Tennessee at Heroes to Legends Con.
Yeah.
And man, or Heroes and Legends Con, right? Heroes and Legends.
It's Heroes and Legends. Heroes
Yeah.
to Legends was the other show you were on the week before.
The week before that, I was on with Randy Wayne. I was on Randy Wayne's working Randy Wayne's show the week before. We were in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, with Heroes and Legends. But yeah, Hoovy was just super humble. Sabu was super humble. Like everybody, you hear all these horror stories about people. You hear all these just terrible stories about how these wrestlers are pricks and everything else. And I'm like,
No. They were
If they're
pretty
about
cool.
me, it's probably true though. If they're about me, it's probably true.
I think we all have a bad day here and there, So and sometimes when you're in the public eye, that bad day becomes, world knowledge. So it's not necessarily the best thing to be judged on. Well, it's probably some of the worst days of your life.
True.
yeah.
So it sounds like, Sean, that this is kind of like a redemption match, so to speak, for you.
Absolutely, 100%. Yep,
It's like I feel, I can feel the passion, man.
Well, I just want to prove that even at my age, look, I've been carrying green guys or like the trainee guy. They'll put me in the ring with him and say, "Hey, take care of this kid for me," and that's great, man. But I'm not done. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to test myself against the absolute best. And in North Carolina, Lodi to me is one of the absolute best. So I want to test myself against.
So
guys
this is like a testing ground for you. This is kind of like, or if you could get this is like you're ready for the next level. You know what they say, iron sharpens iron. I think this is going to be an exact proof of that for that matchup for UPW. And I'm excited for it, man. I can't wait.
Oh, sorry, I meant to cut you again, but funny story talking about Hoovy. So it's actually my fault that Hoovy's on the show because Fodder was supposed to wrestle Sin Cara.
Right.
Because he got pulled for NWA. So Jay had messaged me or whatever, and we were talking about it. And I was like, well, what about Hoovy? So I guess he got in touch with him and got it booked. So
Good.
that's awesome.
Thank you. I wrestled Fodder Friday night in Fayetteville last Friday.
Oh, and Scotty's show?
Oh, that must have been a great match.
That looked like a good house, man. He drew pretty well.
Had a really good house. It was a total benefit for a charity. I mean, the boys got paid, but it was a charity my old tag team partner, Scotty Matthews, put on. And they're going to do another one, I think, coming up in August for a back-to-school thing. I think the owner of the gym was pretty impressed, and they're going to do some more stuff moving forward. But that whole card was good. And you were talking about my kids earlier. One of my kids had his legit second match as a wrestler, and he's another second-generation wrestler. It's Jaron Fulton. It's Bobby Fulton's son.
Okay.
He's been with it for a while, and he actually, Christopher Prince, you were talking about earlier, he comes to the school and trains with us. And so they wrestled each other and just had a really good, sound wrestling match. But I think you guys want to keep your eyes on Jaron Fulton. He's going to be a second-generation wrestler. He gets it already mentally. He's so much further ahead than a lot of guys his age. We just got to get his body to catch up with what he knows between his ears. So he's so old school. It's great.
I totally understand that. That makes so much sense.
I met him. I think he was announcing. I don't even know if he had started training yet. When I met him in Charlotte, I'm trying to think. It was in Charlotte. It was for Thomas Scott.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if you were there or not.
Did you meet Jaron or did you meet Dylan? There are two of them.
No, I met Jaron.
Okay, good.
And then I met Jaron, and Bobby was there, Jackie was there, Sam Houston was there, Ricky Morton, Kerry Morton were there. Dude, it was packed. I walked to the locker room to get because Ricky had his own room. I walk in there and it's like stepping over bags and bodies trying to get. All right, I just need Ricky and Kerry's information. The rest of you people, y'all are all cool, but I just need to get this so I get the hell out of here. Like that's all I wanted to do is get my info and get out. That's how I am with it because I don't want to interrupt anything.
True.
You know what I mean? So
that's why I told you do the database. That's why I made the database for. I made the form for said database. I tried doing the database, but actually, shout out to Aloysius who actually helped me set up that database up.
I get what you're saying. However, I'm still gonna when it comes to guys like Ricky Morton or Lodi or Sean Cruz. Okay, so I knew who Sean Cruz was. I knew his name. I didn't know he was the Unfiltered. So I needed that moniker from him directly.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And then there's also different guys want things brought up. Other people don't want things brought up.
Right.
I made sure Ricky was cool with me saying, is it cool with me naming you the WWE Hall of Famer? He was like, oh, yeah, son, go ahead. Do whatever you want to do. He said, do whatever you want to do. I'm like, sir, thank you. Fantastic. I will do the best thing I can ever do. That's it. And, my brothers are probably sitting back right now shitting bricks because I've got you on anyway. I'm the youngest of 5, so they remember way more of the wrestling stuff from back then than I do. But to me, it's so cool that all their favorites when they were of age and driving to go see them in Richmond and Baltimore and all this and this, I got, I'm on video with them. I'm in the ring with them. They're like, how in the hell?
Yeah.
No. I got lucky.
And I know we get shit for marking out, but I can't help but mark out. I mean,
I don't care.
Like I grew up watching and learning, so to speak, probably not learning in the way I should have been because, I got in trouble a lot. But now that I can actually, be a part of it and learn, from you guys, it's humbling and awe-inspiring at the same time. It's like comes full circle.
I was trying to introduce myself to Sean here, and he was having a conversation with Christopher Prince a couple months back. And I'm just standing there, and I'm listening to these two, and I'm like, nope, this is a sponge moment. Don't say a damn word. So I just sat back and listened to them talk, and you absorb what they say. And if more people in this industry did that, man, this industry would tighten up real quick.
I agree.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that. So there's a female wrestler by the name of Sam Street out of Virginia. I had the pleasure of being at School of Morton with her. She was actually in the Paul Morton Cup this past Sunday, and she's only 20 years old, and she's been wrestling, I think, 2 months. And she was trained at Jimmy Valiant's camp in Charlottesville, Boogie Woogie Man.
Boogie Man.
You talking about a sponge? Like this kid, she's just taking everything in. We were sitting back there watching the matches with Ricky, and he was explaining everything and why they were doing this and that. And you could just see she was just taking it in. So I just wanted to let you guys know about Sam because she's going to be a big name one day.
Well, I've seen her. I've seen a couple posts, people sharing her. She has it. There's a spark there.
Dude, David, you're going to have to put me up on that one.
Yeah, I'll send you. That kid is going places. Let me tell you.
Absolutely.
I've got to get back to Maryland and Virginia at some point. I want to get back. I want to work Southern Maryland. I think everybody has that point where they want to work the hometown. So
yeah,
I
actually got you, bro.
Take me with you. I've never been to Maryland and worked. So.
I actually got you.
We're not going to stay and hang out. It's not that nice. But no, like I knew Scott Hall's mom. Okay, like I knew the store she used to work at, and like my parents knew her and stuff. I've met his mother, so. Like, I understand that there was some wrestling royalty that came out of there. But beyond that, you've got, Hall from Southern Maryland. You got Batista from D.C., Rich Swann from Baltimore. I'm just about out of it. You're just about out of names at that point.
Nyla Rose. She's a hometown homie.
Where?
Yeah, Nyla Rose. She's from the DMV, bro. There's a lot of guys and gals that come from the DMV area, and Sean and Ron, I got you. I'm actually in touch with somebody from Southern Maryland who has a promotion up there.
Hey, I'm pretty booked up the rest of the year, but I mean, shoot me some dates, man.
I got you.
You're saying you're booked up. You just did like a 6-shot like last Saturday. I don't want to hear that.
I literally worked 11 matches last weekend.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Lodi, he's working 11, I think it balances out. He's working 11, but Lodi's in the gym training. Like,
well, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've been on the road so much, I haven't seen that. I go to Planet Fitness maybe twice a week, if that now. So he might have me there. I will say this. I do want to say one thing before he has to go. I'm either going to use this as a reason that I'm better than him or an excuse as to why I lost. So June 3rd, the same day, earlier that day, I'll be in Clayton at another show wrestling. So I think it's against Justin Flash, so I've got a show that day. So when I show up that night, if he beats me, it's because I was already tired from that show. If I win, it's because I was good enough to do that show and still beat him. There you go.
That's awesome. That's great. I like that. That's cool.
All right. I'll give you
matter what, he's got an excuse.
I got an excuse.
I'll make sure to note that. I'll make sure to make that a note in the commentary.
David's going to be doing commentary for you.
Yeah, please put that over.
I will put that over.
That is awesome. I love it.
Oh my God.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to bounce here. This old man's got to go to bed, but thank you again. I look forward to seeing you guys in Raleigh. The day last June 3rd, right?
Yes,
June
sir.
3rd.
June 3rd. Make sure I got the dates right. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us. Dude.
Sean, I actually wanted to talk to you about that, man. Like, some people would probably say that you're crazy. I think it's freaking awesome that you're working the roads, man. You're going from promotion to promotion. You're honing your craft, so to speak. 11 matches, like. You do have something to prove. Is it something to yourself that you could do it, or is just that drive, that passion that you want to go out?
I don't know, man. I love it so much. Like, I love the art form of wrestling. I love creating. I love coming up with new ways to do things and different ideas. And it's just when you love something as much as I love this. And it's crazy because, like, when I first started years ago, it literally, like, okay, so growing up, I didn't have that many friends. Like, I was a little nerdy, like, Harry Potter kid. In high school, I actually dropped out of high school because I was bullied so bad. Like, I could shoot you a picture and you wouldn't even believe it was me. And then, I met some friends. Matter of fact, ended up meeting the Dawson brothers through this story. So we just did I'll say it, backyard stuff. It wasn't crazy backyard stuff. We actually built our own ring, me and some buddies, and we did a little, thing. And then we hooked up with some other friends or some guys I knew from high school. And I didn't have any friends before that. So it was like, yeah, cool. I'll hang out and do this with you guys. And that's all it was. And then we actually got formally trained. Well, we met the Dawsons and Fayetteville and all that. And then Shane Martin, God rest his soul. He was part of our crew. And, yeah, it was just it was a boys club, dude. It was a way to hang out with the fellas for the first 2 or 3 years, to be honest. I was a little skinny, dude. I was like $135 when I started wrestling. I didn't wrestle like Rey Mysterio. I had no chance of going anywhere. But after about maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, it started to click, and people really started to like notice me. I'd get people all the time would say, man, I can't wait to see you on like Impact or NXT or whatever. And I'd always just blow it off like, nah, whatever. But after a while, I was like, well, maybe, But the biggest regret I have is, well, first I didn't go get formally, I won't say formally trained because I was formally trained, but I didn't go get trained by Ricky Morton. I didn't get trained by Tom Pritchard. I didn't get a name behind me. And what people don't understand is not only do you get that training that's world class, but you get that name to push you. You know what I mean? Like George South or somebody like that. Like, I wish I would have done that. That's what I tell people now that want to get into the business. I'm like, go find a trainer with a name who's been places. That's the best advice I can give.
It's kind of like a legacy. You're carrying their legacy with you.
Well, sure. They're putting their name on you, so you better go out there and do a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
it brings some kind of.
It's like it's just been an uphill climb my entire career. Like for the first few years, I was just getting bookings based off of who my trainer was and who his friends were and all that. But after a while, it was like, oh, that's such and such's boy. That's such and such's boy. And I got tired of being such and such's boy and being in that shadow. So I started trying to do it on my own. And it was difficult. It's very difficult. But eventually, your work speaks for itself and you're able to start getting out there and do things. Just like before I blew my knee out, me and my partner, Pitbull Steven Idol, shout out to Steven, who's currently not wrestling anymore, but he's in the military, and we're super proud of him. But we were doing the American Pitbulls thing, and we were really starting to get noticed. And
I remember that, yeah.
Ended up blowing my knee out. Like shortly after I think we might have ran 6 to 8 months, something like that, and we were really starting to get noticed and blew my knee out, and I was done. Like I was completely done. And I opened up my comic book store in Lumberton, North Carolina, ran that for a couple of years. And then my wife just told me when I was like 40, she's like, you're just not as happy as you were when you were wrestling. And I was like, you're right. But what am I supposed to do? Go back at this age and get hurt again? Like, I mean, what's the point? Like, what do I have left to prove? And she was like, well, just do it because you love it. Do it because, it's what drives you. It's your passion. And just do local shows. So I did. I did a couple of local shows. I did Gouge. I did Wrestling with Purpose. I was with Next Level Professional Wrestling for about a year. But then I started I don't know what it was, man. I just lit a fire under myself. Like I literally got in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. I studied more tape than I ever have. I actually just kind of started putting it all together, I guess. And came up with this new persona, which is really nothing but me. Just turned all the way the hell up. And to be quite honest, I'm kind of trying to get away from the unfiltered thing because I feel like it's a disservice to the name because I can't really be unfiltered the way I want to be because then you get into the politics of wrestling and hurting people's feelings and all that stuff. There's so much I'd love to say to make me truly unfiltered, but I don't know. I don't know how that would go. So, but I do have another idea I've been working on. So we're kind of workshopping it, trying to figure it out. But I think it's going to be big once I get it going. But yeah, man, just I don't know, dude. I honestly, like, I'll tell you right now, my career as it stands now from November of last year, I owe to Ring Wars Carolina, to Eddie Brown, because for the longest time, I was caught up in that. Don't work for these guys. You don't work for us. All that stuff that goes on in North Carolina. And Ring Wars was the place that we were always told to stay away from. So we did. But they were doing a scraps thing, which was Control Your Narrative, EC3. He was doing his thing on scraps, where it was kind of like this new experimental deal where we just showed up to Ring Wars and he put us in the ring together and no storylines or nothing like that. And we just kind of fought it out. Actually, I ended up wrestling Victor Andrews twice that night, who's a very, very good friend of mine, one of my absolute favorite people to wrestle. Between you and me, well, I say that I'm on a live podcast, but rumor has it somebody's trying to book me and Victor in an Iron Man match, which I would absolutely love. I would definitely be prepared for that. So
I want to know the date.
What's that?
I want to know the date for that.
I don't have it yet. I mean,
well,
we got some other stuff we're shopping around. I mean, quite honestly, they wanted to put me against Kerry Morton for the NWA Junior Heavyweight title. And if Kerry's watching this, or he watches it later, quit ducking me. Quit ducking me. You know I've been chasing you everywhere. I've called you out on Twitter. I'm just messing. You know, Kerry's a good friend of mine. But no, I would definitely love it. He actually just wrestled Victor for the title at School of Morton this past Sunday, which will be airing, I think, this Sunday on 505 Live on the YouTube channel. Phenomenal match, as you can imagine, but absolutely phenomenal match.
He's getting ready to defend against Sigmund from the Heat Seeker.
Yes. Oh, dude, I wish I could be there, man.
That's going to be violent.
That's going to be insane. I'm definitely glad. Yeah, Ricky's going to be there too in his corner, so that's going to be great.
Okay.
But, Sigmund doesn't wrestle that much singles.
No.
So that's kind of a treat just in itself to get to see that. But him against Kerry, are you kidding me? That's amazing. Did you see the promo that he did?
Kerry or Sigmund?
No, Sigmund. Kerry's was good, but Sigmund's was like personal. Kerry, when he was a little kid, running around the locker room, tripping over the bags, and it was good. It was good.
I did catch that. Because Sigmund,
we're gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, well, Sigmund is one half of the Pro Wrestling Union Tag Champs,
right?
With
Elliot,
his partner Elliot. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, the Heat Seekers. Cool. They're down. They got that tag title strap. They beat the Heart Killers for it late last year.
Probably.
I want to say it was the end of last year. And it's always magic to watch those guys work as a tag team. They are phenomenal. We say it all the time. We're in the mecca of it. We're blessed to be around all the shows we're around and all the different people we're around. I don't think that you could take the talent from anywhere and put them in a box like we are here and have the same amount of explosive reaction as they get here. Yeah, you're gonna get high drawing crowds when you go to big cities. Whatever.
It's true.
That's not the point. How many people went and saw this latest movie and it was a complete piece of trash? A bunch of people went and it was about, it did good in the box office, but it was really a piece of shit. That doesn't mean anything.
We're not coming back to see it again. That's the important thing.
Ratings don't mean what people think they mean.
Watch the box office from week 1 to week 2.
Right.
That's
exactly.
If people go see it again, then you know it's a good product.
And then there's those movies that were sleeper hits in the theaters and become cult classics when it comes out to VHS or DVD.
That's what my name is about. The Boondock Saints was
I heard they're making a third one. Did you hear that? They're making a third
Yes, I've actually read the first couple pages because it got leaked.
Yeah.
Now, what ruined that whole franchise? And then we're going to get a segue out of movies. But what ruined that entire franchise was Duffy, because Duffy, not the character, but Duffy, the writer director guy.
Yeah.
So, he got the budget money up front for the sequel, like 5 or 6 years before the sequel ever came out, and he blew it all on a party with coke and hookers.
Oh my god, that's Hollywood for you.
That's Hollywood for you. That's right.
Or the wrestling business, I guess.
True.
In the 80s, I don't know.
Well, maybe in the 80s, because I don't know what it's like. I don't know what a lot of that stuff looks like now. Everything that we deal with, the most you'll see, we may have some drinks after a show, and I've got a humidor that I travel with, so I'll sit there and clip cigars, and we'll sit there and smoke a cigar, and I'm going on my way. Anything else, I don't know nothing about that.
When I was coming up, I saw some stuff, but now dude, it's like wheatgrass shakes and protein bars and like everybody's like health conscious or gluten free. Like I don't see any of that crazy stuff like that anymore.
Not anymore.
I'm happy about
Yeah,
it.
I agree. Beginnings of stuff, I saw some crazy stuff, but no. Now it's just saying
God,
it's
yeah.
either like you're trading workout stuff or like protein at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're trading
It's
secrets.
crazy.
It's
Or
that's a good-
tattoos of Pokemon at this point because we're pretty nerdy backstage.
I'll be honest with you. Like a lot of locker rooms I go in, and I might get heat for this. I don't know. I'm unfiltered. Who cares, right?
who
It
gives a
looks
shit?
more like a Comic Con than it does a wrestling locker room. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like between the way the guys look, they're skinny and they got the tattoos and the anime shirts and all that. Like, and I'll say this. I've said it publicly. I'll say it again. Wrestling's not for everybody. It's 100%. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the phrase is. And no, I'm not talking about the gay, trans, any of that stuff, special needs, whatever. That's different. I'm talking about the physical ability to do it. Like it literally, there was times when I would get in the ring with people and I look and I go, I'm really going to have to work hard, like really jump when this person tries to pick me up. I don't weigh about 185 pounds. I know I look a lot bigger than I am, but
Really?
I don't trust you to pick me up and not drop me on my head. And I shouldn't have to feel that way. We should be trained, physically trained athletes that can know we can be there for the other one and take care of each other. That's what I envy the most when I watch WWE, AEW, Impact, NWA, is these guys are getting to work with other professionals, real professionals who take this seriously, who have the bodies, the muscle, the strength, all of that. While we're out here on the indies and it's Russian roulette or a crapshoot sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, and while I agree predominantly with what you're saying, there are still some guys that you wouldn't expect it that have that explosive power, that capability, and can even work safe. I'm not going to name names because I wouldn't want anybody to feel bad, but and yeah, for the first time, I'm being coy.
I was about to say that's first. That's a first.
That's a first.
You're
That's
not
a first
naming
for me.
names?
No.
What?
There are a few guys out there that you look at them and you're like, there's no way, and then you see them in the ring and it's magic.
That's great, and I have no problem against that. If you're overweight or you're underweight or whatever, if you can go out and entertain and pop a crowd and make it make sense, and you show me psychology, and I can trust you with my body, 100% cool. But not everybody's like that. You know what I mean? Not everybody's like that. There's those guys that I do it joking sometimes in promos where I'll be like, this guy's sitting at home all week eating Cheetos on a beanbag playing video games, and when the Saturday comes, he puts his tights on and he's like, "Come on, Mom, I'm gonna be a wrestler." But it's literally like that sometimes when you go out there.
Unfortunately,
I've honestly had to tell promoters before I'm not working that guy because I don't feel safe. Not because I feel like I'm better than him or he doesn't deserve to be in the ring with me, but because I don't feel safe. And if I don't feel safe, I'm not putting my body on the line. You know what I mean?
right. Now, you have wrestled across different generations of this, is the way to put that, right?
Yeah, I started in 2001.
Right. Have you ever wrestled a guy named James Johnson?
I wrestled James Johnson about 4 times this past weekend, actually. I love James.
I love James.
I was going to say
Papa James.
So here's a story if you guys want a scoop.
Go for
So
it.
James and I had heat for years. And it was rightfully so. It was all on me, and I'll admit it. So we were doing Warzone Wrestling in Fayetteville, North Carolina, when Jameson Williams owned it. God rest his soul. And it was at the Rock Shop, which was this huge like rock club. It was really cool atmosphere. So we would do like, I think it was Sunday afternoon shows or whatever. Ugly Ducklings were there, and James Drake, Baron Bullard, LeBron Cozone, like all those guys. We had a really good roster. And I was a huge baby there. That's where the underdog thing was born. So me and Baron did this elaborate, drawn-out storyline that ended up, it was like I quit match, and he ended up grabbing my wife, and he handcuffed me to the post, and he was going to hit her if I didn't quit. Like, it was this huge emotional thing. And then we blew it off in a ladder match for the new era title, which I ended up going over with. So I was a huge baby there. They were actually building me up to take on believe it was going to be James Drake was their main heel for the heavyweight title. We were supposed to feud over that. Well, they decided to switch it. They wanted to turn me heel. So we did the whole battle royal gimmick, and the last person there was like the new number one contender for the new era title. I had dropped it to Malachi Matthews previously, and it was down to me and James Johnson. And he ended up we did something. I went to throw him over, and he reversed and threw me over the top, so he won. Right. Well, the whole time they were cheering for him and all these other guys. So during the battle royal, I was getting more and more frustrated. So I came in, shook his hand, did that whole gimmick. Of course, kicked him in the balls. There's your heel turn. And because I was just really in gimmick at the time, and I had that fucking chip on my shoulder, I spit on him. I mean, big ass loogie, like right on his chest. Did not tell him it was coming. Nothing. So, rightfully so, for many, many years, which we didn't even see each other after that. We were running in different circles. For many years, we had heat because of that. And which I get it. I'm not saying we shouldn't have. So then when I found out we were going to be in a 6-man for Extreme Shock Wrestling in Kinston earlier this year, I actually messaged him on Facebook and I said, hey, you look forward to working with you, whatever. And I apologized to him. I was like completely out of line, shouldn't have done it. I'm a different person now. And that's one thing too, man. There's a lot of people. When I was saying I've made a lot of mistakes and got a lot of heat in this business early in my career, I'm not lying. I mean, some really bad stuff. And there's a lot of people who still won't touch me because of that. They don't think I've changed. They don't think I'm any different, which is fine. That's cool. That's how you feel. It's how you feel. But all I can do now is try to just make up for all that. You know what I mean? Right. And with him, I really meant, I meant that I was sorry. We went out. It was a pretty decent match. The hot tag got blown. It was dumb. It was one person's fault, but I don't want to get into that. But basically, we were cool, I guess, after that. And then we saw each other this past weekend at School of Morton, which I don't know how much I can talk about this, but I'll just mention it. There's something really revolutionary. I ain't saying it's going to be the next ECW, but it could be the next ECW coming down the pike that we filmed this past weekend, which is why I had 11 matches in 3 days. It's called Spartan Pro. And that's pretty much all I can say right now. I think it's supposed to be streaming mid-June, something like that.
You see that, folks? I don't want to cut you off, but you see that, folks? Every time we get guests, you get bombs of knowledge and just great insight because you're watching us every time. Happens every time, like clockwork.
Watch the show. You never know what you're going to hear.
You never know.
Seriously, I'm telling you, dude, I literally was talking to somebody about it the other day, and I teared up a little bit because I got really emotional because it was an experience like nothing I've ever felt in my entire life. It was literally like Pro Wrestling Fight Club, but even worse than that. Like it's a test of will and endurance and like how bad do you want it? How much heart do you have?
Dude, all right, this sounds like it's up my alley.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, this is going to blow everybody away when it drops. And there's going to be guys hitting them up, talking about, I can do that, I can do that. I promise you, if you're not serious about this business, if you don't train and eat the way you're supposed to, you will not last. You will not make it. I promise you. We shot all day. We got there at 9 o'clock that morning. We left at 8 o'clock that night. And there was, I want to say 10 of us, maybe. We just wrestled all day. Like it was.
That sounds like so much fun.
Almost nonstop. Like it was like a, man, I can't even.
Closed set, or was there closed set, or was there fans?
Oh no, closed set.
Okay.
But it was like like an out of body experience, like a soul touching. I really can't put it into words. I'm being honest. I'm not hyping it up to try to get hype for it. I'm literally telling you guys what I experienced when I was in there. You push your body to such a point of exhaustion, and you think you can't go anymore, and then you do, and then you get exhausted, and then you do. It's just, it really shows you what you're made of. Like you come out the other side just a changed person. Like it's crazy to say because I know I've been traveling and wrestling, and everybody probably thinks I'm at the highest point of confidence in my life, but until that point, I was not. Now, there ain't nobody you can put me in the ring with that I ain't gonna go with. Nobody. I mean, I don't care if it's Roman Reigns, all the way down to the first green guy out of training school.
So
this past weekend showed me exactly what I'm made of. Not only that, but I did 8 matches there. I did on Friday, came back, did another match on Saturday, then drove to West Virginia for 3.5, 4 hours away, wrestled that night, drove back to Morton the next morning, was in the Paul Morton Cup Battle Royal, came in at number 1 and lasted to the final 4. I was in there for over 35. I was in there for over 35 minutes after having 10 matches.
Talk about endurance.
Bro, I like languages on here, but I'm a fucking machine. And I dare. I'm putting this right now out to anybody who laces up a pair of boots and steps in that ring. I dare anybody to get in the ring and test me. 100%.
So here's the thing. I love the idea of the Spartan Pro already. That sounds badass.
That's awesome.
Pro Wrestling Fight Club. I'm in.
Yeah.
But what made my brain sit here, and I'm sitting here like, could you imagine if it wasn't a closed set and the doors open and you just told people, hey, look, we're having professional wrestling all day. Doors open here, and here's the time it ends. Could you imagine the influx of people coming in, checking out a couple matches, going out? Like that alone, that has a different marketability to me.
And that's what happened in MomoCon.
Marketability, dude. Yes, that's exactly what happened. What it was.
We had a great crowd.
That's what we do at Fayetteville Comic Con too.
Well, so we worked MomoCon last year. It's actually where him and I met. Was at MomoCon last year under Stranglehold Championship Wrestling, Eric Nelson down in Georgia. Which, before we go any further, Eric, you're out of the hospital. You finally got your hair cut. I'm glad you kicked out at 2 again. Thank God. Hell yeah. Good shit. Good shit. So I walked into this thing, no clue what the hell I'm doing. Number one, I'd never been to Atlanta in my life. We can start there. So I drove to Atlanta. I parked in some ridiculous parking lot and walked 45 minutes, 3-piece suit, full gear bag, laptop, whole gambit, all my podcast gear, my filming shit, everything. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? I had no idea what was going on or what I was doing. But the kicker was over 100,000 people wandered in and out of that building that day. Over 8,000 at one point in time were, as far as you could see, the crowd was watching. Davin's over there doing live commentary. I'm just sitting back like, what in the hell? How did
God,
this?
I hate live commentary so much.
It was cool.
I love you, Davin, but I hate live commentary.
So it throws you guys off in the ring.
I get it, and I understand it. But with where we were at, and the way the crowd was reacting and what was going on in the ring, it worked. It doesn't work all the time. And I agree with you.
If it's a special deal like that, or maybe you're doing like an outdoor gig or something where you've got just like casuals or people just walking up to check it out, I can see that. But like I've actually been wrestling for companies that run, regular shows and like armories and stuff that do it. And I'm just like, why?
It's a hit and miss. Some people feel like it adds, other people don't.
In this case where it was 8,000 people and maybe 500 knew what professional wrestling was, it made sense because they were able to elaborate and articulate the story being told in the ring. So it worked out fantastically.
Well, think about it this way too. Have you ever watched, I don't care if it's the greatest match of all time, whatever you think greatest match is, if you watch it with the sound down with no commentary, it sounds great. The commentary adds to it. It adds the emotion. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've gone on record to say,
and I think that's the difference. When there's people who do the commentary and there's no emotion behind it, it's just them kind of not letting stuff simmer, and actually kind of you get the feeling to build up that feeling. I totally understand, because there's some commentary that some matches don't need commentary, some do. Some needs to kind of like pull off of telling that story, and it adds and it enhances to the story.
It's going to depend on who's in the ring, but the reality is Brett versus Owen WrestleMania 10, in my opinion, is one of the greatest matches of all time. And whether you watch it muted or with commentary on, you don't get as much of the story because they're centering, they're grinding in that Hart dungeon. They're grinding in Stu Hart. They're grinding in that family aspect. Whereas if you watch it and you just know it's two brothers going at it, you're like, okay, it all makes sense anyway. You already know all this, but just that extra reminder coming in there. I liked it for what it was.
Well, not even just that. I mean, as far as like the actual what they're saying, but like Jim Ross is to me still one of the best as far as enthusiasm. And
yes.
Austin, Michaels, and you know what I mean? Like that's the stuff I'm talking about. When you hear that, like, oh, it makes you just want to be like, yeah, you know. That's to me is when you can do that. But it's like you were saying, it depends on who it is. To me, you guys are professionals just like we are. So you should have professional commentators, professional referees, professional ring announcers. The business as a whole needs professionals, not your cousin in jean shorts with a referee shirt on. Not every part of the show needs to be professional. That's why it's called professional wrestling.
It's like a business.
South Carolina license, right?
No, I don't. I wish. I need to get them. I got to find a doctor that's gonna do the physical around here.
You could get it done
at a Minute Clinic. You can get it done anywhere that will do a sports. It's a sports physical. Yeah. It's a sports.
Yeah, but
physical.
it has to be an MD or a DO to sign off on it. You can't be a PA.
Correct.
Yeah.
They usually have one. Care First is where I got mine done.
Okay.
I'll send you the details.
Well, to be quite honest, not to get too personal, but I'm technically homeless now because my home situation finally ended. So, but luckily I have a hotel with my shoot job through the week, and I got family that lets me crash and stuff. So I don't really have a home base, so to speak. So I travel all the time for work. I travel all the time for wrestling. Like when I say I'm a road warrior, I'm a road warrior. Like this is my lifestyle. Dude. So I need to just find when I get a day off, I guess I need to find a place that'll do a physical for me.
True.
Man, look, there's just some people I want you to meet in South Carolina. So if you get your license, I'd be more than happy to introduce you to a handful of promoters down here. And like I say, I've worked with you at XWW.
Speaking of which, quick plug, I'll be there tomorrow night.
Yep, I'll see you. So will I. Yep.
Awesome.
I'm announcing tomorrow night in Lenny Boy. We actually very soon we need to get to Kwest. We're bringing Kwest on because that's what our next whole segment is.
Yeah. That's that XWW show. Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to give you guys. We wanted to give you and Lodi, time to talk as well. We don't do the standard show thing that some of these podcasts, if you watch them, everything seems real robotic and it's all pre-programmed. You got your script, right, Sean? Fucking script. I don't do none of that. No, we try to keep this as real as possible. We let people do whatever they want with the curtain. And you know what I mean by that? I let anybody do whatever they want to with the curtain. It's not my business is here. I don't sell merch as a fucking ring announcer. I sell merch as a podcaster. There's a big difference.
You could do.
You know what I'm saying?
Ring announcers sell merch.
I don't. I sell merch as a podcaster.
You should do both.
I don't. Well,
sorry, I'm a hustler. I do both.
Hey,
you're leaving money on the table.
Another cheap plug. Finally, after months and months and months, I've got my T-shirts, and they will be on sale tomorrow night for the first time ever in Charlotte at Lenny Boy.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Awesome.
I remember you had the underdog shirt at one point, like the little underdog shirt.
Oh yeah, dude. I still wear that to work out in and stuff. And sometimes I'll wear it like during a show, and people's like, "Man, you still have those? I want to get." I'm like, "Nah, that shirt was the one that sold the absolute most of any shirt I ever."
That's dope. Well, stay in touch. Stick around for a bit.
Absolutely, man.
I need to talk to you about some School of Morton stuff. I've been trying to reach out to you for that too.
Okay.
And wow, you're a trainer now, which is fantastic.
That is excellent.
Honestly, like when they told me that, it blew my mind because like I mean, I've always said, like, if you haven't been anywhere in the business, you've never had a contract, you've never been on TV, you have no business training people. That's just my opinion. And as a head trainer, I guess that's true. But when you got Ricky Morton as your head trainer, and then Carrie's under him, and then Draco, who was one of the very first students at the school of Morton, who's just phenomenal, as under them, and then you're under Draco, it's like you can't help but say yes.
And Draco's another excellent talent too.
Dude, he is so underrated. Like,
very
not even just in the ring, but just his wrestling mind, dude. Like, he is super underrated. But yeah, it's absolutely blew my mind, and yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I was supposed to start next Thursday, but because of my shoot is a 4-day week job, and we're off Memorial Day, so now it's going to be Tuesday through Friday, so I'm not going to be able to get up there. But I told him about everything, so it'll be the Thursday after. And why anybody who's watching, man, if you guys want to come wrestle for School of Morton on the 505 Live, we do 2 shows. It's every other Sunday, I think. I think they've got the dates on the website now.
Well, funny that you mentioned that. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I actually have a couple of boys that I'm trying to bring to School of Morton. We're not going to call them David's boys or anything. I have a bit of a faction. I have some Latino talent who's trying to show up and show out. We'll talk.
Draco will love that because he's of Latino descent.
Yeah, he's gonna love it. Just let him know that the Don Francisco of indie wrestling wants to talk to him and bring some good boys.
Okay,
man.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Cruz, thank you once again, and I will see you tomorrow night live at Lenny Boy Brewing in Charlotte, North Carolina.
You guys,
And I will see you June 3rd next weekend for UPW.
Yes, sir. I can't wait for that one, man. I'm super excited. It's gonna be good, man. Like I said, I got nothing but respect for Lodi, but I gotta prove that I still got it. I gotta prove that I'm better. So
that's awesome.
All right, man. Well, we will see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Sean.
Dude. solid first hour. Solid first hour.
That was not just solid. That was excellent, my friend.
It was an epic first hour. I know. I'm trying to be modest. Come on, dude.
Modest? When the fuck have you ever been modest?
I got you to say fuck on air. Look at me go. So anyway, we're going to move on to our next segment. Guys and ladies out there, guess what? We got another guest, and it is the commissioner of XWW. Commissioner Kwest joins us. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great, but we're going to do something a little different this time, Saint. All right? I want to
shit.
talk about Sean Cruz you just had on there, right? Sean, if you're still listening, I want to tell you something right now. I brought you to XWW because you are correct. You are hot. You are talented, and that's why I brought you to XWW. However, you're talking about this little Lodi, little fiasco or train wreck you got coming up. Don't forget, tomorrow you will be at Lenny Boy Brewery. And guess what? You got to go against a veteran yourself. So let's hope you don't go seeing Lodi with an L under your chest, all right?
Ooh.
That's all I want to say.
Oh, man.
Are you listening, Sean? Because you are great. You've been tearing it up, which is exactly why we brought you here. And my gosh, son, I like it. I like it.
Man,
you can't just step over XWW, all right? Not to get to Lodi, especially because Lodi already lost his title to his student. Lodi, I'm going to need you to get back to the gym. You say you don't train with intensity. I'm going to need you to step it up a little more, intensify them workouts a little more, Lodi.
Well, I mean,
I haven't seen you since you lost the belt.
Oh, wow.
And listen,
the commish coming in hot.
His student was in here running his mouth. How much did you pay Lodi to hop on this gimmick? Christopher Prince came in here running his mouth.
Yeah, and I gave him a suggestion just to, shut up.
Yeah, telling him to shut up. And he said, he clicked your comment and brought it back here, and he heard me speak. He's going to hear me speak for a long time coming at a lot of shows he works.
Yeah.
So, sorry about Joe Luck.
Speaking of Christopher Prince, I hope he's still listening, and I hope he clicked on because I hope he hears my voice. Because listen, I'm on one tonight. If you ain't know, all right. I got a special surprise for Christopher Prince tomorrow. All right, since he likes to jump in and he likes to use his title that he cherishes so much, and he hugs it, and he probably takes a shower with it. He loves it so much, and he loves to use it as a weapon. Well, I tell you what. Tomorrow he can bring his little weapon because it's going to be a no DQ. He's going to be in a ladder match
Are you dropping
And I hope he's
matches?
listening to
Wait,
that.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hold
whoa,
on,
hold on, hold on,
Hold on. Saint,
hold on. How the hell are we having a ladder match? How the hell are we having a ladder match at the brewery?
It's
you can do it.
simple.
There's ring. You can do it.
It's
There's
simple,
space.
Saint. I'm gonna go down to Home Depot and I'm gonna purchase a ladder.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring it in and we're gonna set it up.
He's not lying there, Saint.
All right,
That
then.
just makes sense,
A ladder match?
Yeah.
You know,
Now, are
listen.
title going to be suspended in the air and everything?
Listen, since last month's Wrestle Revolution, I have a whole new outlook and I have to look at things a little differently now. So I'm gonna do things a little differently now. And
Gotta respect it.
for one thing, we're gonna clean up Christopher Prince's act and Money Enterprises Act. We're gonna clean all that mess up.
Ooh.
Well, we need to
Oh.
touch base on Wrestle Revolution anyway, because I'm going to tell y'all one thing. That show was a hit.
Yes.
That show hit. And
I mean, did you expect anything less? What?
all right. I'm telling you what I know. I think about you walking through that curtain and my skin just crawled down my neck. I ain't lying to you. Because when you came through, that crowd reacted, and I was like, holy shit. What the I didn't know what Kwest meant to XWW. I learned what Kwest meant to XWW.
Listen, I took on this commissioner role because I eat, sleep, breathe XWW. All right. And Uriah had to learn, like, that's like you want to come into you're just gonna come in my front door and not wipe your feet at the door, put your feet up on my couch, go and drink all my orange juice. Like, no, it's some things that's just not gonna happen. And he had to meet my alter ego. He had to meet the Reaper of the Ring. But yeah, that aside, we're gonna move forward, and things are just gonna be a little different now.
So tomorrow night we got a ladder match for Lenny Boy. That alone is uncanny.
You know what? I'm feeling some kind of way, Saint. You know what? I don't even know. He might have to. I might even put. It might be a 4-way ladder match. That might even sound a little. That's real interesting. It might be a 4-way ladder match tomorrow.
A 4-way ladder match.
That sounds like pandemonium waiting to happen. I mean, you're dropping bombs here, Mr. Kwest. I gotta ask. So
I'm trying to think of where to sit to be safe. To hell with that. I'm trying to think about where I'm gonna sit.
Besides Christopher Prince, who do you have the rest of that? Who's going to be in that ladder match?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that to be a surprise. I don't know. I have a few people, but I want Christopher Prince to be as prepared as he can be for this match. Therefore, I'm not going to tell him his opponents.
Well, you can't really be prepared for a ladder match.
Of course he can. He's a champion. Come on. You can't give this man excuses. He's a champion.
Man.
He's got to be a fighting champion. Yeah, he's going to have to prove that he has his worth and the chutzpahs and the balls to be, Yeah.
And before we go any further, Devin, I got to ask you, what the hell is that?
This is Lorenzo Lama. He's my assistant / road buddy.
That is Lorenzo Lucha Lama. Yeah. All right. So listen, a couple weeks back, man, I talked to you about Tennessee because we had talked about going. Well, so that llama right there and my daughter were the two most over things at the entire convention. They were the most popular attractions at the entire convention.
I can see that.
It was fantastic. Surrounded by greatness, and they had the best time. Them two got to interact with everybody. It was cool.
There was photo shoots.
Yes.
Fighting for photo shoots. It was fun.
Oh, dude.
It was so great, Dev, you had to come and put him on your lap now, right?
He's not on my lap. He's on the table.
Now,
not from where I'm seeing this. All right?
Now, I've got some matches pulled up because, see, the cool thing about XWW is you really never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, clearly, because Kwest is out here dropping ladder matches like they're like crazy.
We love spontaneous stuff going on.
This is where it gets funny.
It gets unfiltered.
There's
Non-scripted.
There is 4 or 5.
Well, I mean, seeing that
matches.
I just made this title match is going to be 5 title matches.
Well, right. It's huge. Because, see, I only had 4 pictures of 4 matches that had been announced. I didn't have 5. I didn't have anything. I had 4. What I had was this. You have Whiskey Business defending their titles against Cam Jackson and Jordan Holt.
Right.
That's going to be something to behold because, you know, Whiskey Business ended up beating Holt and Jackson for those straps.
They did.
They did. You know, a couple shows back. Then last show they had a table match, doors match, whatever you want to call it. Somebody goes through the hole and they get eliminated.
Fraser.
We had that. It was insane. So now they're getting their one-on-one shot again. And, you know, the pressure's on here against Cam and Jordan.
Well, look, let me tell you. Cam and Jordan came together through me, all right? That is the best creation created from North Carolina, South Carolina. This part of tag team wrestling, all right? Those two work together. They are the best thing going. Now, this Whiskey Business, they wanted a real wrestling match. They wanted mano-y-manos, right? But yet, they stooped to underhanded tactics to win the belt. So you tell me, where does that lie? You know, I got an issue when men can't be men, when their word is not their word. So therefore, we have set this back up. This is another chance for Cam Jackson and Jordan Holt to retain those titles and prove that they are the best tag team in XWW.
It's a hell of an opportunity. And I've seen Cam Jackson perform since the day I came into indie wrestling, and phenomenal. And the very first time I saw Jordan Holt a year ago, I walked up to him immediately. Well, I'm not going to say immediately after his match. I walked up to him during intermission. I said, I've never seen you before tonight. You're a fucking star. And don't forget it. Because he has it. He's got the look. He's got the moves. The crowd loves him. He's the package right there.
He's hot right now. And like he is, like you say, he is the package. He has all the check marks, you know. But when he first came next up, the only thing he lacked was discipline. The talent through the roof, but he lacked the discipline. So therapy works for people. You know, a lot of people say people don't like therapy, but therapy works for people. And now look at it. You have the best tag team, North South Carolina. And they're going to retain those belts.
They're going to regain those belts?
Well, at least that's the plan. We're not going in there without a game plan. And the game plan is to win those belts back. They need to bring them back. Because Whiskey Business, they don't have no respect for the belts. They don't have no respect for nothing. They don't respect themselves. They don't respect the business. They're functional drunks. You know, they come to the ring with their little flask and their little drinks. And they should be, I should ban them. I got to think about that, you know?
Ban the flask? We're in a bar.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It is a bar show.
It's a bar. It's a law in a bar that you cannot bring in outside alcohol. So, you know, you may have them. You may have a little get there on them. You might have got them there.
You can't really say that unless they got what's in this flask comes from the bar. You have no way of
They don't serve liquor there, do they?
No.
I know. They don't serve liquor there.
Nope, they don't have a liquor license.
So why would they put beer in a flask?
To be fancy?
Listen, there's no saving.
The fuck is fancy about that?
These guys are rule breakers, and that's what they do. They break the rules.
It's like putting gasoline in a Dixie cup. Make it make sense, bud. Jesus Christ.
The Dixie cup.
I mean, I'm sitting here looking at a plastic bottle. I'm like, well, hell, I put gasoline in a plastic bottle before. Shit, you know. But No, who would put beer in a flask? That doesn't make. You're ruining the carbonation. You're flattening your shit. Then it's gonna get all shook up, and it's gonna get it's not gonna stay that cold in there.
It depends on the flask. It depends on the flask.
Not like liquor will.
But I mean, it's
I
Braden
digress.
Marshall and Johnny Ryder. No telling what to do. Because they're about a sandwich short of a picnic anyway. So
yeah, but they're tough as nails, and they like to fight.
I was about to say,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be
interesting.
fun.
It's going to be an interesting matchup because, like you just said, once they got the whiskey in their system, they're pretty much good to go. There's going to be pandemonium going. These guys are brawlers.
Yeah. They sip on that whiskey. They get that redneck shrimp going. I know.
So
It's
what's
like
the
Popeye
game?
with a spinach.
Pretty much. So what's the game plan for Cameron? Because let's be honest, Cameron's a bit of a loose cannon, and you get one. Come on, let's be honest here. He's a bit of a loose cannon. He has the temper. All right.
What are you getting at?
Some funny business could happen
What are
from
you
whiskey
getting
business.
at? There's nothing wrong with Cam Jackson's temper. All right. Him and Jordan Holt, they are as focused as can be. You think I spent all that money on counseling on therapy for them to have a loose? No.
All right,
Cam knows exactly what he's doing.
So he's doing the goose frabas. He's breathing. He's doing the the shadow work. I got it. I got you. I okay. All right.
Man.
That's good. That's
Let me
great to hear.
explain something. If you believe that Cam Jackson, do you believe that I think Cam Jackson is a loose cannon? I would have not put him and Jordan Holt in my corner at Wrestle Revolution to defend my job.
Sometimes you need a loose cannon in your corner, though. You need somebody who's gonna. We need somebody in that might be, be the wild card in a situation.
Hey man, look, you couldn't dig yourself a hole any fucking deeper if you had my backhoe, babe. Jesus Christ, good Lord. All right, so Cam Jackson, Jordan Holt taking on Whiskey Business for the XWW Tag Team titles. Yes. I got to move on because Davin's going to keep digging a hole.
Yeah,
I could call this episode the Golden Shovel just off of you. So for the XWW United States Championship, we have Elijah Proctor challenging Vasad,
the Neon Ninja.
This is going to be insane because neither one of them fucking guys are wrapped too tight. Okay? They're not.
Yeah. They literally put their bodies on the line. I've seen Elijah Proctor work quite a few times. The guy has speed and high flying action. Same thing with Fasad. They don't call him the Neon Ninja for nothing. This guy could jump off the ropes, on the ropes, back and forth. The guy's a human ping pong ball.
He can walk the ropes.
Yeah, I've seen it. The trick with Vasad is there is no trick to Vasad. And the sooner you understand, it's like the Matrix, bitch. There is no spoon. The sooner you realize that's what you're dealing with when you're in there with him, the better off you are.
It's too late.
Like this match is gonna be phenomenal. The thing about it is that Facade is our first two-time. He was our double champion here at XWW at one time. He held the Hardcore Championship and the U.S. Championship. But that's a feat in itself. But you can't take anything away from Elijah Proctor. Elijah Proctor, he's held two of our titles. He's held the TV championship and he's had the internet championship numerous of times. So, he's looking to capture his third title in the XWW. So both of these men really have something that they're really going for and something that's really going to push them. So I think the match is going to be high voltage. It's going to be high octane. That's not going to be the time to go take a potty break because you just might miss something. Like the match is going to be through the roof.
True,
man. It's going to be through the roof because both of those dudes like to fly high. Like I said, I have already figured out that I think the safest place for me to be is like right behind y'all. Instead, I normally sit beside y'all. I think I'm gonna sit behind y'all. Like, look, y'all got your table this way. I'm gonna put mine here, and I'm gonna sit right here behind Kwest. So, and I'll just walk around y'all to go do what I gotta do. but I'm staying the hell out of Dodge. I'm telling you what I know. I'm staying out of Dodge. Jesus. Now, this matchup here really has my interest because I've seen these two team up. So to see them go at each other is going to be something, a whole different ball game out of both of them. That they know each other so well, and that's going to be Treehouse Lee versus Saeed Al Sabah. I'm very interested to know how this came about, and it's throwing me for a loop because it's like they're going to know each other so well. This is going to be it's going to be chain counter wrestling.
Well, you got to realize, like, these guys are brothers, and they've known each other forever. Like you said, they've tagged together forever. But all this came about because there was a little dissension, within their family. Saeed was a little upset because he too wanted to become a two-time champion at Wrestle Revolution. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to pick up what I'm talking about, you can check us out at extremetvonline.com for $4.99, first 5 days free. You can go back and look at all this at Wrestle Revolution. But anyway, Wrestle Revolution, it was a three-way tag match, doors match for the XWW Tag Championships. And between Treehouse and Saeed, they had a mishap. They weren't on the same page at one time, and Saeed blames Treehouse for, costing him that match. And I don't know. Like once again, if you guys check us out on YouTube, we have the program called The Plug, and as you know, as commissioner, I like to do conflict resolution. So this is the best way I knew to resolve their family issues. And hey, let these two get in the middle of the ring and they air out their differences.
Man,
that's a good way to do it, and there's a great way that you mentioned. It's like brothers do fight, and as someone who is the middle child of that kind of situation, it's kind of almost a pride thing or a dominance thing. Like, hey, you're gonna try to test each other's and push each other's buttons. This is the way to do it, and it's gonna be an explosive matchup. Let me tell you.
Listen, you might not even know this though, but me and my brother used to fight all the time. That's how I got into wrestling, because my father used to say, hey, ain't no fight in this house unless we're getting paid for it. So that's where we at.
I like that sentiment, though. I like that sentiment. No
That's
fighting
true.
in this house
Well,
unless you get
unless
paid
you
for it.
get paid
Hey, kids, let me tell you. No fighting in this house. I'm going to start using that. I'm going to borrow that. I'm not stealing it. I'm borrowing it. It's okay. And then the only thing I have other than that, man, is the main event itself, and that's going to be for the XWW Heavyweight Championship. That is TJ Boss challenging the main event monster in Fulton.
This is going to be a monster kaiju battle. I think we said it the last time you were. You have Godzilla versus King Kong. It's going to be a massive fight. It's going to be destruction in the ring. The ring might break. It might. Something's going to break in this match.
At Wrestle Revolution, they shifted that ring about 3 or 4 inches, each way across the floor each time they was in there. But no, I mean, it was a great match. With the three-way with TJ Boss and Fodder and Fulton. But the match was so great. I said, look, I got to bring it back. I have to bring this back, and I have to bring TJ Boss in. He deserves it. I mean, and like I said, it's just, if you want violence and if you want brutality, this is what you want, and this is something I had to bring back. So yeah.
Remember that old arcade game Rampage?
Yes.
This is what this match reminds me of.
Yeah.
Well, the other caveat is this. A lot of people don't realize it, especially if you hadn't seen TJ Boss in a while. TJ Boss dropped about 60 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's still in the 300 range.
Yeah, he's still jacked. He
still
can move.
He's still a hoss, but my man, I'm telling you, when I saw him versus Bojack was the first time I'd ever seen TJ Boss perform in person. I think I'm right. I don't remember what the hell I was doing on that show. I don't know if I was running camera, if I was just kind of an interviewer or what, but man, they broke the damn ring.
Yeah.
So seeing Fulton, who when Fulton stands up to me, his nipples in my damn forehead, it's like this is a monster movie. That's what this is, because these guys are out to get paid. And they get paid for violence, and they're very fucking good at their job. That's why they make the money they make. So I'm gonna be just enjoying this. I don't give a damn whose name I have to call at the end, because either way, it's gonna be an excellent matchup.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
fantastic.
that's where I'm at.
And I'm extremely relieved that you said it was his nipples in his forehead, not something else.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not
Thank you for
Kevin
that.
Hart standing next to Shaq. Right, you know that joke. Okay, not everybody knows that joke, but some people do. No, I stand next to Fulton. His nipples at my forehead. That's how tall that guy is. He is.
Yeah.
He is just a huge human being,
I
and
mean,
people don't
he's a
realize
huge guy.
this.
He's a big guy, and you know, he's moving, you know, to his 6 month period. He's moving to 6 months into his title reign since he won it, you know, at Winterberg. So,
Right.
You know, and the first time live pay-per-view at Lenny Boy Brewing, it's his first time performing in Lenny Boy. So it's going to be a great show. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be electric.
That's 5 matches, though. Is that what
Title
we got?
matches.
5 title matches. Is that all? Is that all? Is there more matches that are not being announced?
No. We're not going to forget about Sean Cruz. Like
Okay.
I said, I'm adding him since he said he's going to be in Charlotte. He's going to be in the area. He's going to go up against Sweet Dreams.
What? The
Yes.
unfiltered Sean Cruz against Sweet Dreams.
Sweet
Yes.
dreams.
Yes.
Charlotte's hometown homeboy, Sweet Dreams.
Yes, the veteran Sweet Dreams. You know,
I've
and
been
like I
around
said-
Dreams. I've been around Dreams since day one that I've been in. Very first night ever, his former partner came over and farted up against the damn commentary table. Yeah, a lifetime ago, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
it was a
but
charity
we got-
show. It was funny as hell. Either way, and I've always thought they were cool, and he's always given me great feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've taken advice from everybody I've ever dealt with. So, well, all right, I'm not gonna say everybody, because sometimes you really got to know bad advice. But
True.
I've never gotten bad advice from Dreams, so I've always tried to, be there when he's working, man. So that's Sweet Dreams versus Sean Cruz.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, Cruz, great, phenomenal. And I want to be the first to say that if he hasn't heard before, you can hear from me publicly, Sean. You're a great talent. But I don't want you to look past that to the legend Lodi, because I don't know, Lodi might be moving into his twilight years. If you're listening, Lodi, prove me wrong. But he might be moving into his twilight years. I don't want you to look past tomorrow expecting Lodi to give you the WCW Lodi. He doesn't do that no more. I can't remember last time I seen Lodi on the top rope jumping anywhere. But don't forget, we have a legend, Dreams. And at 200, pushing close to 300 pounds, we'll still climb that top rope and give you a blockbuster.
I've seen him do it. I've seen him and I saw him and Drew Hood just shit.
Yeah.
It was late last summer.
Yeah.
And he got in there with Drew Hood, who's one of the hottest commodities in indie wrestling. Everybody can say what they want to, but that promo shit he did where he called out everybody, he killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And I'm saying it publicly because I want everybody to understand exactly what he did. Number one, he proved to everybody that you can film a promo. Might not be a good promo, but he proved that you can put on a promo. If you're asked to do one for a show that you're being paid for, you should definitely do one. You did one just on a bet because he was being a prick about it. So that made it even better to me. So
yeah,
Drew Hood versus Dreams was awesome. Now we get Sean Cruz, unfiltered versus Sweet Dreams. Oh, that's going to be fun.
That's going to be a great match. Wow.
That's going to be a fun time.
I'm glad you brought up Drew Hood, though. Like, I like Drew Hood. He gets it, you know, and he really gets it, and that was a very smart maneuver that he did too. Like the man is genius, and he has a silver tongue. You know, I might even take him up on that little promo offer. Who knows? I mean,
I did one, but I just went after his chicken and made fun of Chase Emery. So that's all I did.
Yeah,
Good.
the man needs to learn about how to use Sazon a little better. Let's be honest, but you know.
well, listen, I don't know. That's two things I don't think Drew will ever be accustomed to, and that's seasoning and that's a tanning bed. Like,
True.
you know, I think he might be allergic to both. I don't know.
Oh man, dude. I don't know, man. He has a tendency to get spicy on the microphone, so I mean,
but that's the only spice he has, apparently.
hey, but look, say what you want. I mean,
Hey, I'm all about the Juju train. I'm on the hype train when it comes to the Juju.
man, look. How about this, Quest? I think it's time that you. If you've got your title match, coming up tomorrow night with Fulton and the big man on campus, TJ Boss. Man, it doesn't matter who wins, it's who's next.
Yeah.
After that,
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine hold on, could you imagine Drew Hood going at Fulton on a microphone? Could you see that?
That'd be great.
I can see it. I mean, one thing, Drew Hood is not shy. He's not shy of a camera. He's definitely not shy of a microphone. What I can't imagine, I want to know what Fulton's response would be, or even TJ Boss for that matter. I hadn't really seen Boss on, either one. It's interesting.
I'm a thinking man. You know this. You and I have had conversations. I'm a forward thinker. So
I like it.
So there's a lot that can be done with this. And promos. Dude, Freight Train Jay's in the comments. This will be the first comment I've shown all night because it's been just a barrage of comments all night. Freight Train Jay, he's going to be there tomorrow night.
Of course he is.
He said, we need more promos.
We do.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's not.
Because, but then you get these arrogant fucks out there that go, oh, well, Hogan didn't share a flyer. Hogan didn't need to share the flyer. They didn't have social media back in Hogan's day, dipshit.
No, now
they had the newspaper and they bought ads. That cost money. Social media is free.
I mean, it's just like I said. Drew gets it. There's several. Cam gets it. Cam Jackson. He's great on promos. You get people. I'm starting to like the fact that Elijah gets it. Elijah Parker gets it. Like you get people that they get it, but it's only a few. And what people don't understand, like when you're in the indie business, you don't have these $1 million contracts in which you can sit back and not worry about doing a promo. It's the indies. And so the thing is, if you're going to be on the show, you need to self-promote yourself.
Yeah,
because
it's a brand.
How many other shows are you going to get on if nobody knows who you are?
True.
You can't expect, the platforms to do it. Like you get one match on XWW ExtremeTVOnline.com and you get that one match and expect that to take you places. No, okay, people see it. All right, oh, this guy had a good match. This guy's got talent. Who is he? Well, you got social media now. There's no reason that nobody should be involved in social media. None.
Right. Everybody should be involved in sharing posters and sharing flyers. The argument that has been presented has been, well, if everybody's sharing flyers and everybody's in the same bubble, then everybody's going to see the same shit. Well, because right, you stand out. That's number one, and then number two, not everybody's on that poster. Now, XWW does a great job of putting, all their talent on the poster. I agree with that. But not all shows do that. Not all shows feature all the talent. So you don't know when a Lodi's going to show up at a show. You don't know when a Bojack or a TJ Boss or a Fulton or, you don't necessarily know that they're going to be at that show. You don't know when a Cam Jackson or Drew Hood's going to be there.
Right.
If they're on the poster, but if they're not, you don't know. So it then becomes on that talent to, hey, look, I've got a match here, even though I'm not on the poster. And that's an opportunity for the talent to say, hey, hey, Dick, I deserve to be on the poster. But since you didn't want to feature me, I'll tell the people anyway, I'm going to be here and I'm going to beat somebody's ass for the disrespect you just showed me. I've heard that and it worked.
And it's another thing too. Also, like, if promoters know who's the draw, they know who's putting the asses in seats, and if you're out there shooting a promo and you're out there, listen, okay, I'm gonna step out here. I'm gonna be okay. Let's say I'm gonna be a little biased, but then again, it's the fact. It's facts. We had our best show at Wrestle Revolution at Monroe Armory.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna say it was because of my return match. It was because Uriah challenged me. It's like that is something that we've had promos going for well over a month and a half, 2 months into that,
That's true.
It's people, especially that being Uriah's hometown. It's a lot of people looking at it, they want to come see Uriah. They want to see him. Oh, we want to come see him win, and then there are those people that, hey, Kwest used to wrestle. They had no idea. What? He's getting in the ring? They want to see this,
They do.
And that builds up with promos. And we put asses in seats. Our best turnout we've had at Monroe. And
it was
off of the heels of promos, And anytime you do that, when you put those promos and you grab people's attention, they want to say, look, you get a Cam Jackson, you get a Drew Hood. They're looking like, yo, this man talks the talk. I want to see him walk that walk. I will buy a ticket to see that. And like I say, what Drew did is mastermind. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Because I guarantee you, he just put somebody over that can actually hang with him on a promo. He just put them over. And number two, he probably just added 3 to 4 bookings in his resume for those that wanted to go along with his promo challenge. Like, it's brilliant. But, I understand how people don't understand the importance of a promo. I understand how they don't understand the importance of it because social media is a thing now. As much as people can say they hate social media, I don't do social media, it's a thing now.
Yeah, like you could use it. It's a tool now. We could talk about it. We can mention it. We talk about all the shows that we have coming up. We put the poster up, we put the flyer up, even with the discount codes. That's another way to prove that people share their flyers. Just to mention that, have everybody their own promo code, and you could tell. Oh, they're talking about it. They're mentioning it. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's mind blowing. And I have to agree. If this is we're independent contractors, is why it's called independent wrestling. We're our own brand. So if you're not doing anything to promote your brand, promoting that you're going to be at a show, promoting that promotion, using your brand to promote a promotion or those matches, what are you doing? You're leaving money on the table.
Why the hell would I book you?
Exactly. That's my thing. And in all honesty, there is, I think that's the reason David and I, get a lot of good work out of this, is because we work our asses off for everybody who wants to work with us. We want to work with them too.
Actually, I actually have a promoter here. Actually, he's going to be one of our guests here. It's actually for UPW. Speaking of UPW, Mr. J Parton here. He personally has issues with wrestlers acting like they do not want to help promote. Exactly.
Yeah, we've seen that. Everybody's seen that, sir. Yeah, I agree entirely, Jay. My thing is this. I feel like if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. The promoters are putting cash in your hand for you to work the show, right? Mm-hmm. So therefore, shouldn't you be trying to put more cash in that hand? And then, I've worked shows before where, oh man, hey, look, we did extra at the door. Here you go. I've been there. Mm-hmm. I know that shit's real, especially when you deal with good promoters, which I've been very fucking fortunate. I can't say that enough. I can't say that enough, that I have been extremely fortunate in my short career, So I love the way it happens. I love watching it unfold.
Right.
I love listening to the strategy. I love hearing what works and what doesn't, what hits, what misses, what area, what, you know what I'm saying? Because you're trolling with the same bait. You got to switch up your lure. When that temperature changes, when that watercolor changes. I hate to use a fishing reference, but it's the best one I got. I've seen it. I've seen it happen here in wrestling. Man, I saw a guy get told, you'll never draw more than 40 people with a junior heavyweight shit. You'll never draw more than 40 people. That guy was wrong for saying that. And it was proven one of the hottest crowds and it was the night before Wrestle Revolution in Monroe. It was there was a junior heavyweight tournament for Pro Wrestling Union. Ridiculous. Crowd was just insane. I had 2 back-to-back nights where the crowd was just vicious all night long. And I was like, I was high from it, man. I was high from it from both nights.
Right.
That's awesome.
So
we got Jay chiming in. Jay chiming in again, saying, I had one guy tell me he was paid to wrestle, not promote. I can't believe he said that. That is wow.
And look, I want to know how many times that dude.
Wow, bro. Down. How many? Yikes. And then following up, what I'm doing for my show next week is adding a bonus to see who sold the most tickets with their promo code. I'm all about helping the rest, but damn, help the company. Exactly.
Bro,
exactly.
So there was another idea that I had come up with. I can't remember which promoter I told this to, but I told it to him a year or so ago. When show ends, for example, tomorrow night we're ending the show, right? You already got the flyer, the flyer's the flyer. The flyer has your talent on it. Doesn't necessarily have who has the belts. It has the talent on it, right? And you already know the date for the next show, right? All right. So what I'm saying is you have a stack like this, and you break off 25 to every wrestler. Here y'all go. Take them. Take 25 each. Sign the back of that son of a bitch. And when somebody shows up with your flyer, your signature to get a check in the box, man, the person with the most checks gets a bump at the end of the night.
Yeah, that's a tactic that we used to use, years ago back in the day before we didn't have social media, because we used to get out there. We have to go out to like restaurants, bars, parking lots, shopping with flyering cars. We've done this, and then people see that flyer. Oh, it looks like people on there. Like you say, if you're into a wrestling, I don't have nothing to do Friday. Oh, let me go look at wrestling. Okay, as an event. When you get out there and you put a promo out there, now you're drawing somebody in there to either like you or hate you, but either way, you have a following now. So now it becomes more than just an event. You actually build a fan base,
exactly.
And they don't I don't get how people don't understand the importance of a fan base, because the more times they come see you, the more times, again, like you say, it puts more money in the promoter's pocket, who can say, hey, everybody's getting a raise. Hey, I can put more money into this. Or even they can raise the platform up a notch. Hey, let me add these type of lights. Let me add this. People understand, even making flyers, that we still do that now. Even the flyers that you make to put on social media, that costs the promoters money.
Yep.
And to sit there and just, okay, let me just repost it. I mean, really, the promoter's done that. What have you done to put money in there so we can put more flyers? And it's just, I mean, some people get it, some people don't. Drew Hood gets it. Cam Jackson gets it.
Yeah.
Elijah Parker gets it.
Everything
Rob
costs
Killjoy
money.
Gets it.
Yeah.
Sean Cruz gets it.
Rob Killjoy is another one. Yep.
Yeah.
It's people that get it, and then it's people, it's people that are constantly booked. That's why you have people doing, 11 shows in one night. I'm booked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I gotta do a show here, and then I gotta jump on the road and go 3 hours down the road so I can make bail time at another show I'm doing there. There's a reason why these people are doing it. They're not doing it just because, I saw a flyer and I saw his face on it. Let me go see him. No. It comes with promo, and that's easy to do. It's free.
Man, I watched the promo that Killjoy did when he was getting ready to go up to Jersey and wrestle Jay Lethal. Man, did I love it. I hadn't seen it because I wasn't around Killjoy when he originally filmed that.
Right.
I don't even know if I was involved yet. But I watched it, this many years removed from the match happening. I ain't got a damn clue who won the match. I still loved the video. I thought it was filmed fantastic. I love the story it told in the promo. So I wholeheartedly agree. I think promos are a great thing. I also think what we did even tonight was a stark contrast to what I did Tuesday night. I don't know if you tuned in Tuesday night or saw what we did Tuesday night, but we had two promoters and they're heavyweight champions, and we essentially had a press conference. That's what it was. It was a press conference for a pre-match press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a little testy. It got spicy at times. I got uncomfortable. And we're not in the same room because we're on air, and I still got uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable sells tickets.
Yep. Controversy sells tickets.
No, Eric Bischoff said it the best, gentlemen. Controversy creates cash. And I know Eric Bischoff is a curse word down here in the South, but trust me when I tell you, the curse word y'all need to look at is Vince Russo. Fuck that. Don't talk about Bischoff. Bischoff is still brilliant. Russo's a jerk off. Let's be clear, okay?
I don't know how he kept his job as long as he did. He just
I don't know how
he was so horrible. The fans even knew something was going on without not really knowing what's going on. Like, what the hell is really going on?
I can't figure out how he still makes money in wrestling now, being on podcasts. I can't for the life of me figure that out.
I don't know. But there's something that I learned that I do that is, some people think I'm crazy, but I carry, for whatever show I go to, I usually carry flyers for it in my book bag. So when I go out and I know I'm going to be out in the area, I'm going to be near the area, I just flyer or I leave it at a shop. So like if I'm at a show and I go get food or I go get whatever while I'm at the venue or near the venue, I just start flying while I'm out. Hey, I'm down the street. I'm going to be doing a wrestling show. You want to come out? So it's like a wrestling. I didn't know what was going on. Well, here's the flyer. Mm-hmm. I flyer everywhere I go in that town. Right. The other tactic that I learned doing conventions and doing other stuff in the DC area is wherever the venue is going to be at, you flyer like 3 other in a triangle cities around that area. So, for example, you got Alexandria. All right, I have a show going that's going to be in Arlington. I'm going to flyer Alexandria. I'm going to flyer Fairfax. I'm going to flyer Springfield. And I'm going to go to the big spots, Springfield Mall, the Innova campus, the other big campus,
the Hoffman Center,
the Eagle Bank Center. So, you could go to those big places. Yeah, it's the Eagle Bank now.
The Hoffman Center.
No, the Hoffman Center. I know what you're talking. Yeah, no, the Hoffman. I didn't know if the Hoffman's still there anymore.
It better be. That was like the best movie. Well, okay, that was the second best movie theater.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the one in Kingstown.
No, right? Old Town.
Old Town. No, that's gone.
Arlington?
Yeah.
No.
You said Old Town. You took Arlington or
in
Old
Arlington?
Town? Oh no, that's still there. That's
okay. That's the second best movie theater in the area. My favorite one is the Alamo out in Catoctin.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
great.
A ninja bringing me food while I'm eating and drinking a beer, watching a movie. Yes, please.
But that's pretty much the thing. You flyer within a triangle within that, and you go to the major that there's going to be a huge
Fair Oaks Mall
traffic. Yeah, you go to the mall. Sometimes it's a little iffy at the mall. Sometimes you get in trouble, but I still do it anyways. But that's how you promote. You go to high levels of places to be a lot of people in traffic. You flyer out. You go out, you flyer when you're going to be at the show, maybe go a few days before the show, and then we can just let people know. You also have access to other media. Radio ain't dead just yet. You can still get stuff on the radio. You can still get on your local news channel. Let people know. Reach out.
And another thing, and it's hard to get these guys to do not only with the promos, it's hard to get them to even flyer. It would be awesome, like if I'm on a show and I'm passing out a flyer with my face on it, now it's not just somebody passing you a flyer to go somewhere, and it becomes formal. Like, hey, here's my introduction. Nice to meet you. I'm performing.
Exactly.
Here it is.
Exactly.
It's the same.
It becomes like a business card in a way.
Yeah,
like, hey, come check it out.
You know, and then once they look at that, then they look at the promotion, what's going on, and God forbid you have a promo up. Oh my gosh, you might just drew a fan in.
Exactly. Or somebody to hate him. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see this guy get his ass kicked. Well, come see
Right.
me get my ass kicked. I want to see you there in front row and a point at you when I win in your face. Like, there's a way to twist that around. And
Right.
I'm still on the whole Jay Park. I can't believe he had one guy tell him he was paid to wrestle, not promote. I can't believe that.
I mean, I bet it might not be that hard to figure out who it was, though. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying, I know a couple people with that arrogance level.
See, and that's the whole thing. Even if you called out one, you're still talking on at least a dozen. You know, so you don't even have to name names because they know who they are. You know, and those people probably watching now like, I'm still not doing promo. Well, I guarantee you they're not getting booked like they could be getting booked. And that's their money. Like, hey.
There's that. Then, you know, in my book, you also got the guys who, for all intents and purposes, this is their promo. It's just basic. It's kind of bland. It's pretty boring. If I'm not invested, your opponent better damn sight bring something to the table that makes me want to see them beat the brakes off your ass. Because it wasn't you. It was,
Right.
you know. And I think that's another caveat that's being missed. Some guys are sitting back going, oh, well, you know, you still came and paid your money. Yeah. But does everybody realize that I didn't pay the money for you?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Still got the money. Yeah, I still wipe my ass. You know, what's your point? You see what I mean? I still brush my teeth. Hey, you got to give them something.
Right.
We may, you know, I can be hated. I don't care. It's great. Because that means you're still talking. It means we're still watching. We watch the numbers count fluctuate all night long because some people don't want to be associated with what they see and hear. And that's fine by me.
Right.
It's totally fine by me. The bottom line is we know and they know. And that's all that matters. I just wish they'd buy a damn shirt. You know, at that point, you might as well. Hey, look, if you want to be a closet hater, at least buy a shirt and burn it. You treat it like Marilyn Manson was in the late '90s. We're good.
Yeah.
God, most brilliant thing that ever happened. And he even called the American public out on it for being so stupid. Like, yeah, please go burn my albums again. Keep buying them so you can keep burning them.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense, man. But so we got 6 matches.
6 matches.
Tomorrow night, Lenny Boy Brewing, and you're live streaming this out as well.
Live streaming on Roku. If you got a Roku device, it'll be on there.
I mean, commentary and all, full tilt.
Full tilt.
Oh my God, this is exciting. This is exciting.
And we actually hadn't really done the live taping since around the pandemic times. So it's going to be interesting. You know, we'll be back to it, you know.
Man, you know, we kind of touched on that a little bit on the last show, and you were like, we got something in the works. And then all of a sudden, it was announced the very next day, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, here we go.
And see, we've actually got the opportunity to do this, which is great altogether. The only thing that sort of hindered us from that is, like, you know, our pay-per-views were done, you know, at the Armory. And with them being military and all that, it's like we couldn't live stream because we couldn't be on their internet feed.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
That sort of took us out of. That's why, okay, we taped it and then we got it out, you know, next day or late that night or best we could. But yeah, now we have an open line, so we can stream this and it's gonna be live. We're back to live, baby.
Oh
Fantastic.
man,
that sounds awesome. That's great.
I'm excited. Excited.
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait for tomorrow night. Oh, so doors open at 6.
Doors open at 6:30.
Okay,
Show starts at 7.
All right. I'll have to get with you about the other piece of information I need to know. But you know, beyond that, man, is there anything else you want to plug? We've already plugged the plug. We've, you know,
Guys, the plug has been plugged.
yeah, the plug.
we plugged the plug. We talked about Extreme TV Online. So the thing left to do is come out there and have our live shows. And if anybody watching now hadn't been to a Lenny Boy, it's wild. You know, our Lenny Boy shows are by far the wildest bunch.
Seeing Manny Mac come off the bar hitting somebody was nuts. The keyboard getting smashed across somebody's face and shit flying everywhere. My kids were picking up keys like they were teeth and thought it was the coolest thing ever. I don't.
It's gonna be a fun time.
The fans rushing the ring is the only thing that kind of freaked me out that night. That was the only thing. That was the point I grabbed the kids and shoved them through the door. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
We're not going to talk about that. That never happened.
I don't know what to talk about. Yeah, there's guardrails. There's definitely guardrails.
North Carolina, wrong state, wrong state, wrong state.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, South Carolina's intense about their rules and shit. But you can still see stuff go out of context and go off filter. But man, that crowd was ravenous that night, and I was just like, nope, I gotta get these kids the hell up out of here.
The crowd is gonna be great. The crowd at Lenny Boys is always fantastic. It's gonna be a high intensity crowd. They're gonna be so into it, and it's gonna be great.
Well, see, here's my thing, and I don't want anybody out there to be misconstrued. It's not a dangerous event or a dangerous environment or anything like that. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination or ruling of the word, a large individual. I am a smaller statured male. Okay,
he's a short king. He's a short king.
You know, all right. So I'm light on the shoes, and that's because there ain't much above the shoes. And so when I'm the one that's got to protect the little ones with me, I get the hell up out my gone. I was out the damn door as quick as I could go. I looked right at Kwest and went out the door. I was like, I got to go. These too many big people.
On his way out, he had a little 3-year-old as a shield.
No. All right. So to give you a size comparison, he's actually 7. He's 7. Yes. I see. We built small. We built small. God. Okay. So yeah, I was using him to shove through people. He's got a real hard head. He's great for that. I promise.
That's funny. That's
great for that. Gosh. You can't hurt that kid.
Battering ram.
No, dude, he fell 8 feet out of a window onto steps and landed on the steps, rolled down the steps and landed in gravel. And he got up laughing at shit.
This conversation moved into something that Quest is not a part of. I know nothing of any of this. Matter of fact, I don't even hear it. You know, so any social workers out there watching, I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing.
I was at work, so I can't be drawn into this. Yeah. I can just remember the phone call and hearing him laughing. I was like, what? Fell out a window. How the hell does this happen? Yeah, just it was messed up. Anyway, so Quest, thank you, man. We really appreciate you joining us tonight.
It was a pleasure, sir. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. And thank you so much for dropping those bombs, man, and just kind of letting us in and letting those secrets go out here live when it comes to XWW.
Oh, listen, like always, I enjoy being here. It's great being here, and we're already halfway into this year, so we got to turn it up a little bit. These last 6 months going, you know, we're really going to go out, you know. So it's more surprises, more bombs to be dropped.
And well,
and you can do it here.
Y'all were turning up the amount of live content you produced anyway. Yeah. Y'all were turning up the amount. Their goal was to break 100 shows this year.
Yeah.
And it's in range.
Yeah, it's getting close.
100 shows.
We're on pace. And I'm gonna give you an early bomb drop too. It's in the making. We're reprocessing things, new direction. But be on the lookout for the Asylum, which is my podcast. It's the adult side of XWW. As if extreme isn't enough, it's the adult side. So, you know,
Oh, these are my people. These are my people. I am fucking hum. Let's go.
Get the humidors ready. Get the cocktails ready.
Oh yeah. It's we're gonna have we have a new set, a new format and everything, but it's still gonna be that raw, uncut, adult, after midnight type conversations that we have about XWW.
What's a Uber cost from Charlotte to Spartanburg? Damn it! All right, we're good.
Yeah,
Because I ain't driving my car.
Yeah, we might we're definitely gonna be able to have you on there. Like, I mean, we it's I don't want to say too much about it yet. We're still in the works, but definitely be on the lookout for it.
Man,
All
look,
right.
the more the merrier, because we have, I mean, everybody knows there's like podcast chat rooms and stuff. And then most podcasts that I'm affiliated with, we all kind of pump each other up, share each other's content. We contribute on everybody's shit as much as we can.
That's possible,
Yes. Dude, schedules.
Yeah, it's
schedules are huge. But definitely will want to be part of that, dude.
Outstanding.
So once again, thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.
Quest. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I've got a busy ass day tomorrow already.
Wow, man, it's only Friday.
Dude, well, so I was off today for the kids' graduation.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yep.
Well, congratulations on graduating. You must be proud, Papa.
Oh, dude, I am. My kid made honor roll. Like,
oh,
that's good.
Way to go, kid. All right.
Yeah, well, it was Elizabeth. It was the daughter you met.
I figured. Yeah, I saw the pictures.
She graduated into she's going to middle school, so that's cool. And we had a hell of a party. I mean, I showed everybody the food in a video on Facebook.
Yeah, shared your plate, which is corn and brisket and
barbecue
chicken. It was a lot.
Oh, dude. I only ate about half of it because I was busy working on the show. So I only ate about half of it, and I threw it over here to the side. I will let her know, Redhead Witch. Thank you. I will let her know. We're going to catch up. I know.
Just to let you know. Because she's a redheaded witch. She just saying.
Cletus, I knew who it was.
Well, I thank you there.
I'm going to need you to relax.
Gosh. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Oh well, I think I do that. I don't remember. I think I did. There was at the gathering last year, I was dressed up as fucking Mickey Mouse and got my picture taken with people like Barry Horowitz, Thomas Latimer, Tori Wilson. And I think during the Tori Wilson one, I went, oh boy. And I don't know if anybody heard it or not. So it was still funny as shit. It's still funny now.
We still got to talk about that. When's that again?
What?
When's that again?
August?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
We got to redo our schedule, folks. There's a lot of stuff coming up. Speaking of which,
yes. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so we got a lot of stuff to go over. Now, you guys heard we just talked about XWW coming at you live tomorrow. No, we can't do this yet. We got to do comments. We're behind.
Yeah.
Well, Ghazi chimed in. He said, I found a podcast. Yeah, no, sir. Delete A and change that to the.
Yeah.
The.
I like the.
And we're good. But either way, man, thanks for happening. And that was when Lodi was here. Ref Cliff chimed in. He said, what's up, everybody? Let's see here. Lodi's all around awesome guy. Great trainer, great talents in his facility. Yes.
That's great. Yeah, true.
Grew. Somebody asked what's with the Rock. I don't know. What's up with paper or scissors?
Or lizard or Spock?
Well, rock, paper, scissors made sense. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Unfiltered Sean Cruz was in the house. And Lodi was good. Oh, you're saying what's good? Legend in the house. That's right. You're an SC. Man, what were you doing in South Carolina? Like, you could have hit me up. I'm in South Carolina.
XW is going to be fun and awesome tomorrow.
Yo, he's saying Lodi looking good for an OG. That is it. Bill Wright was in the house. That is Overdriver LLC. If you don't know about it, go check that app out. You only got limited time to get in on that
wow.
on this
Actually,
thing
got
for
a
that
couple days left. Actually,
$100
Actually,
gift card. You get
I think-
entered in for that.
I think today was the last day for that, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know. I shared it again. So I don't know, guys. But if you aren't in on Overdriver LLC, be sure you go check it out. Fill out that survey. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to last week's show, last Thursday's show. Check it out there. You can also find it on Swanton Pod. You can find it on a bunch of podcasts because these guys are everywhere. Bill Wright and his team and Mrs. Wright are kicking ass, taking names when it comes to pushing their product.
It's going to be the next big thing in indie wrestling, guaranteed.
Madeline chimed in to say, hey, Tagazi, Freight Train J, this podcast lit. This podcast stays lit.
Yep.
Man.
Because he has cigars.
This is true, which means I have lighters. So,
Mm-hmm.
Just saw Lodi's on here. Had to join. Lodi's awesome. Saw him a few times wrestle in person. Remember his time with WCW. Man, Brandon, yeah. You know how we do. Sean Cruz is going for the real Iron Man. Dude, I actually really want to see that match. So I'm just going to tell you, I kind of want to know where it is and when, because if I'm not booked, I might just roll out. I'm, depending upon where it is.
You do know where Cruz is going to be having that match with Lodi, right?
I won't be there.
Yeah, true.
I'm booked that day.
Yeah, you're right.
Bill Wright said Cruz has his respect and we should talk soon. Look, business gets done on this show.
Of course.
We already heard from
this is the place for business.
We already heard from Christopher Prince, but let me tell you something about this.
Boo that man.
No. Get this. I want to tell you how much of a spine Christopher Prince has. While Kwest was saying what he was saying about Christopher Prince, I figured, well, you know what? Gosh golly, gee willikers, let me send him an invite. Would you believe it that he sat there and knew it was there and then just decided not to answer?
Wow. You had the time to run your mouth. You like to run your mouth. We give you an option to run your mouth, and you don't run your mouth.
It was sent to him at exactly 9:15. He was still active up until 7 minutes ago. It is currently 10:17. So that tells you,
Mr. Christopher.
He had almost an hour.
We have
he
the
had
platform.
Almost an hour to respond to the 4-way ladder match that's being thrown at him, and had nothing to say.
Come on.
Now, man. I bet you'll have plenty to say tomorrow night, and he'll probably bitch at me. But you know what? I don't care. I'll get Lodi to tie him up again. Joseph Rotequez chimed in. What's up, man? Yeah. Tag, you're it, bro. Let's see here. The commission is live. No jive.
True.
Sweet Dreams is the man. Yes.
Sweet Dreams.
He said it himself. Quest, and he's been on a winning streak. That's accurate.
He has been. That's true.
Oh shit! Sweet Dream said he's going to go to the top rope. We already talked about needing more promos. Cliff agreed with it. Oh man, and he was agreeing with the commissioner too. I like how Cam Jackson do live promos. We need those promos to get the crowd to go ooh ah type shit. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Social media real to the people, like meeting each other and fighting in public. You're not wrong. Monroe was fantastic. That's me in the corner. Kicking Sean. Coming to your home trying to lose big.
Wow.
No, that's gonna be something to behold.
Yeah, we were
talking about this.
That. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm still crazy.
Yep, he's ready for tomorrow. He's going to have 2 pitchers that night.
My man.
Scott Larson chimed in. He said, I love it. I know nothing. Hey, Scott, figure out how to work that XWW website and the app gimmick. And guess what?
You can watch it live.
You will be able to watch us live. So there you go.
Mañana.
Getting hooked up tomorrow. Dude, XWW loves Quest. The crowd loves Quest. Yes, I will tell her congrats from you. And Oh, dude, yes, we did. So that was the first time I had met most of the people from XWW, even though I had been having conversations with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool. Man, I know some things about the gathering. I don't know a lot of things about the gathering. There's going to be more information coming about the gathering, but there's just a lot of things that you just can't talk about yet. You're not
Gotcha.
allowed.
Gotcha.
So it's one of those things. Don't forget to get your pretzel at Lenny Boy. You know,
Yes.
I'm
She's
gonna
so right. The pretzels there are pretty bomb. They're pretty good.
I want the pizza one for some reason.
It was
so
pretty good. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get that. I gotta figure out if I'm going by myself, if I've got people going with me, because merch table and this and this. There's a lot going on, man, and that's a huge crowd. So it's one of those things, man. It's gonna be badass. I can't wait for it. I'm excited. I am ready for Lenny Boy. I'm also ready because that's my Friday night. You know what my Saturday entails? My
Cody
Saturday. No, that's next week.
Oh.
Saturday is a sold out seminar for Dr. Tom.
Wow. Yeah, I was supposed to be there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be there.
I
I'm sorry,
know.
man.
You're good. You're good. But remember, next week or tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Mega Mayhem coming at you live, Lenny Boy Brewing. This weekend, sold out seminar. So if you didn't get your ticket, you slept. It's your problem, not ours. We've been telling you about it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You chose not to answer the call.
Mm-hmm.
This one's on you, sir.
We just talked about it. We're actually going to be running down the card next week, and we're actually going to be having the promoter coming on with us next week. We'll talk about some of the matches. We had just talked about one of the matches. It's going to be Lodi versus Sean Cruz. It's going to be June 3rd next weekend. It's going to be a first inaugural show, a packed show. You don't want to miss out. Main event, Sin Cara versus Juventud Guerrera. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Tickets are still available. You're going to go to upwunleashed.eventbrite.com to get those tickets. Use promo code Estacado to save some money on those tickets before you get them at the door. Tickets are $20. Save some money using promo code Estacado. Don't miss out on that. Great matchups coming up so far. You don't want to miss out.
This poster is out of date. I do want to remind you that the venue has changed.
It has changed.
It's no longer at the Biltmore Hills Recreation Center. It's now at the Boy and Girl Club.
Yes, I'm actually going to show that now. If you allow me real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and present that. Share my screen.
Oh, you doing the side screen shits again? Okay, that's fine.
Look at that. Saturday, June 3rd.
You need me to do this?
Can you see it? I'm doing the thing.
Yeah, there we go. I did it.
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club, 721 North Raleigh Boulevard in Raleigh, North Carolina. Look at that poster. Stat card. You got Jay Malachi. You got Bojack. You got Steve Meeks, Sean Cruz, Gabriel Kai. Just name after name after name. Will Bannon. You got Amira Rose, Jada Stone. It's going to be a stacked night. You don't want to miss out.
Man, it looks like a good time. If you're not in the area for that one, you're in my area. This is the one for you. The David Cody Memorial also takes place on June 3rd at the T.W. Edwards Center. We had the main event for this on air on Tuesday. That was having Barrino Royce and Bebop, as well as the owners of the promotions that they are the heavyweight champions for. We had Mr. Jimmy Ward and Mr. Cole Maccabee on air. So all four of them and myself sat back and had a conversation about what this match means, the lineage of the titles and everything going on, and the repercussions of a win or a loss either way for either guy. There's a lot of things that come off of this. You can see AEW's own JD Drake. You have, as seen on Impact Wrestling Television, NWA TV. We've got Don Fury. We've got Chris Fix. You've got Bryce Cannon, Caleb with a K, Caleb Conley, Suicide. All these cats have been on TV this year. Brittany Jade's been on TV this year. Luka Daniels was a security guard at WrestleMania. This is an indie show here in South Carolina, man. So
it's gonna be fantastic.
This is huge.
So if you're in the South Carolina area, definitely go and check that out.
Dude, I can't wait for that show. I am as excited for that. So you can't, and people don't get this. You really can't differentiate how excited you are for one for how excited you are for another. And I'll tell you why. Because it's a different crowd. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different quality of match. It's a different everything. Everything's different. So when you go somewhere and you have open expectations, meaning you have the ability to be entertained by anything, you're always going to have a great time. Especially when the matches are really good and really, really well thought out and planned out and written. When you have some people throwing some random shit at you, it don't really hit all the time. Whereas when you have promos and builds and story to everything and repercussions for anything and everything, all of a sudden, everything seems to make more sense. When there's consequences, your actions are dictated differently. You're not going to run and flip into a wall of thumbtacks with the same, conscious that you're going to run and flip into a wall filled with razor blades.
No, it's going to hurt.
I'm going to take the thumbtacks over the razor blades.
I'm taking thumbtacks.
I'm taking thumbtacks. I'm taking thumbtacks over razor blades.
No, I physically have taken thumbtacks. Yeah.
I mean, I pierced my finger with a nail. Does that count?
No.
Okay. Well, then I haven't taken thumbtacks or anything. But anyway, my point is, you got to learn to look at things and appreciate things for what they are. And a lot of people don't know how to do that anymore, especially in this day and age, the TikTok society. They don't have the attention span to appreciate things like they did back in the day. You remember waiting for your cartoons on Saturday morning? Man, I do. Getting that bowl of cereal and rushing down to the TV and sitting there, and it's like, all right, it's time, and 8:00. There we go. We're on.
Yep.
Good to go.
Well, 7:30, then 8. But yeah, it depends on what you
were watching. What channel? Because Fox 5 was different than the WB. Yep, yeah, the WB. So you had to know what you was watching. And then
jump. Sometimes you had to jump back and forth between the two.
And you had channel 50 that nobody knew was there and it wasn't supposed to be there, but you occasionally got it when the wind blew the right way with that cloud over there on the west. It's fucked up. I was weird as shit. Foggy nights, we could catch the Richmond rock radio station better than we could DC 101.
What?
Yes, brother. I used to love listening to Richmond rock radio over most of the other stations that I could get in Maryland because they had better music. In my book, I thought the music was better. And I love DC 101. But anyway, I digress. Guys,
good old Elliot in the morning.
Yes. I still got
Elliot in the morning.
So I still have shirts. I still got chili cook-off shirts and everything, dude. My first ever concert was DC 101 Chili Cook-Off, headlined by Chevelle.
I got free beer at events because I had my Elliot in the morning card. They give you the little membership card or whatever.
Yes.
So you go out to events, they'll give you free swag. I got free beer out of it. That was dope.
Nice. I try to listen on the apps or whatever, but it's not the same because it's not live.
iHeartRadio, man. They talk about it all the time. iHeartRadio, you can listen to it live.
It's not the same. I don't get the same feeling as I did. I feel like I'm behind time and shit. I hate it. I just wish they'd be syndicated already. They need to get syndicated down here. The Rise guys aren't bad, but Elliot in the Morning is the shit. And if you don't know who Elliot in the Morning is, there's a reason why he's the shit. There will never be another Howard Stern, and God himself knows that. But at this point, man, for DC's talk radio, you can't beat Elliot in the morning.
I agree.
All right, you got the next poster, Jack.
Do I? I do. Because I'm going to be celebrating my birthday near my hometown in the DMV area. It is the month of Dave, and what better way to celebrate? I'm going to remind y'all every time. It's the Dave birthday weekend bash. And what better way to enjoy it than coming out to Manassas, Virginia for some wrestling action, for intense action wrestling, where I'm going to be calling the action live. And already one of the biggest matchups, have already been dropped here, with more matches to come, and we're going to be talking more about that the closer we get to that. Going to have a lot of the talent on here. As you can see, you already have a couple of Carolina boys up there. JR Miller, you have JAC, Gabriel Kai. It's going to be a good show, and the more info we get, we're going to drop it, and you're going to find out here first on the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight.
Dude, July is so fucked up for me right now. I just had to turn down a booking in June it's actually for the same reason, but on the other side of the page. Okay. So if I can make it, God bless, Manassas to Fredericksburg ain't but what, 45 minutes at best?
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's like Orange. Like I'd probably crash in Orange. I'd either crash in Orange or Fairfax, one of the two. Just to tell you the truth, I'm gonna, if I go up there, I'm staying in one of those two places. I'm not crossing the bridge. And it's not because I have something against Maryland. It's because why the fuck would I want to go over there to sleep when I have to pay a $9 tax to leave your shithole state? That's my shit. That's awful. That's just awful. But I'm not wrong. So, it is what it is. If I can get freed up, man, I may have to come up there and buy a beer. And
I would love for you to come out and buy me a beer.
And we'll smoke a cigar after the show. I'll bring some good. I'll go get some of the nice Partagas that I really enjoy. I'll go get some of the special ones. Yeah. I got to refill my humidor again. I keep hanging out with too many people and just, dude, we smoke money. That's how that goes. We smoke money.
That's what you do. You make money. You smoke the money. But it's gonna be a dope weekend, man. I'm trying to get as many people to go to this. This is an inaugural show for this guy. I've worked with this guy before. And what better way to bring more wrestling to the DMV area than to go to a new show? I know that you got Marion Championship Wrestling. You got 3CW, which I've also worked for before. Great group of guys. You have the Fight Club or Fight Wrestling up there. And then a couple other shows around the area, UCW. But come support indie wrestling in the DMV. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And you don't want to miss out.
Yep. Now, that weekend, the following weekend, Saturday, July 22nd, Pro Wrestling Union presents Heatwave at the Union County Rec Center. General admission $10. Students are $5. Kids 5 years old and under get in for free. This is going to be another hot night. And I can tell you one thing. We only know of one match so far. One match has been released for this. And that is Drew Hood challenging Bebop for that Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Championship.
Bebop better be ready because the Drew train has left the station and he's coming for the gold. That's all I'm saying.
Man, look. All the potential in the world for that match to be another classic, because their first encounter where Bebop beat Drew Hood for the interim heavyweight title was fantastic. Dude, nuts. Oh, dude, look, Cliff is going to be up there at the UPW show.
Yo, Cliffy.
Shit.
We'll see. I'll see you there, my guy.
That's cool. That is cool. All right, man. That's all I got. I'm going to try to get some much needed rest for tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be another late night. Dude, well, so here's the thing. So yesterday I worked the shoot, right? I left the shoot job came home and changed and got out of my car because I didn't want to get my car messed up. And I ended up going and building a pool from the ground up, meaning literally leveling the ground with a piece of heavy equipment.
Wow.
Relocating sand, doing setting out the pool thing and setting it up, filling it up. Had to run to the store, buy hose and shit. Dude, we did all that overnight just so the kids could get in it and play today.
Wow.
So midnight, 1 o'clock last night, I finally drug my ass into the bed and went to sleep after getting in a bleach soaked, pool liner and scrubbing the piss out of it for a goddamn hour.
Yeah, I saw the setup that you had. You posted pictures of it, right?
Yes, it was. So it dropped down to the 50s last night while I was out there cleaning this bitch, and I was sweating. I'm like, I'm gonna end up sick. I'm gonna miss shows. I'm gonna be pissed. I didn't get sick, so I'm happy about that. But the kids had a ball, and that's all that really mattered. But at the end of the day, we told the little girl, yeah, pool party for your graduation, sure.
Aww.
And there we go. Got it done. So, man, Cliff, I'll see you tomorrow night, man. I will see you there at Lenny Boy. I will be there early because I don't know where to set what to do with what. So I'll be there early so I can make sure I have everything prepped and ready to rock and roll because I like being early to shows. That way we get the best shit done. You can't show up at the last minute.
I like doing pre-shows every now and then.
I don't know about pre-show. Maybe I will treat you, and maybe we'll get a pre-show, and we'll do a thing where we drop the link, and you guys can all get in and watch the show. I think I might just do that, but I make no promises, man. I make no promises. The only thing I can promise you is this: you'll see me tomorrow night. I'll see you tomorrow night. That's all we need. I just want to see bodies, man. I just want to see everybody come out and have a good time.
Same. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Because wrestling is a blast. For people that don't know it, people that don't understand it, you don't know what you're missing. It's okay. Just come out to a show and learn what you're missing. But anyway, man, we're going to call it right here, right now. We've been on there for 2.5 plus. Are we good to go home, or did you have something else that we need to address?
I got nothing. I'm going to reschedule with UPW owner Jay. I need to have him back because he made some good points.
I agree
with the flyering. I'm sorry he had to deal with some of that crazy stuff. It is what it is. But you know what? It'd be great to have him on, kind of talk the show, talk with some of the talent, and then we'll have that next week. Most definitely. So we're going to have to leave our schedule open for next week because I think we're going to have more than one show next week.
Oh, our schedule is wide open next week. We've already had this discussion, and I've already made arrangements throughout my house and telling them, look, we got 2 massive shows on Saturday, the 3rd. So I've got one I'm working. You've got one you're working. So what we have to do is we have to open it up and say any night could be a night. There could be a show every night next week. And I ain't mad at it.
No, I'm not. We already had 2 of the combatants here for UPW, Lodi and Sean Cruz. That was great. So who knows what we might have next week.
That was very respectful. Very respectful.
I try.
Yeah.
So who knows what we have next week. So shout out to them. Shout out to the rest of you guys at UPW. Shout out to the UPW crew. Shout out to the Cody Memorial crew. I hope you guys have an awesome show. But I'm not going to take your line away. So I guess that's it.
Yep. That's it for the night, guys. And we will see you at the Indies.